Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right. If you have a job or ever had a job, then you have also had a worse day at work. It's inevitable. I mean, even if you have a job you love, there are days that can really, really suck. And the reasons for a day's suckitude, well, it could be anything. On a discussion about your worst day at work, one woman, she recounted the day that she was being demoted, but then her boss was interrupted by the news that the Twin Towers had just been struck by airplanes and the country was under attack. Now, to be fair, no one had a good day that day. Now, on a much more personal and considerably less dramatic level, a guy's worst day at work, it was his first day at work because he didn't know his coworkers. Then he pooped his pants, and then he had to go home. Then there's the medical technician who did not poop their pants. Instead, they slipped in a patient's poop. And then they were sprayed in the face with more poop from that same patient. But to the credit, they say, I still love my job. That was just my worst day at work. And then we have another person. They worked one day at a McDonald's drive-thru, but quit because the customers suck. Because like we said, hey, man, your worst day at work, it could be for any reason. And today, we're playing a little guessing game, all right? So here's the idea. You just tell us about your worst day at work, whatever it may have been, and then we're going to try to guess what it is that you do or did for a living. It's that simple. You call us, tell us about your worst day. We'll try to guess at least what industry you might work in. So today's question, brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration, is tell us about your most memorable day at work, and we'll try to guess your job.
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like KISW on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today. and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Man, that was easy.
Bulldog Rotary Hammer!
Hello?
It is I, He-Man, your inner Bosch.
Inner...
Bosch!
I'm sorry, what?
That powerful feeling you get when you can powerfully blast through concrete. Say it with me.
What, like right now?
Yes! We have the power!
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Oh, but tell us where we go. Welcome to the 20th anniversary season, episode number 4,317. What a large and in charge program we have for you today. Guaranteed future repeat. Once again, joined by the lovely Taryn Daly and Steve Miggs from the Daily Miggs Morning Show. Today, from the folks at loudwire.com.
All right.
We have the best rock band for every letter of the alphabet. In other words, let's take a random letter.
B.
What would you say? B?
Yeah.
All right. So
Beastie
B,
Boys.
Black
Boston.
Sabbath.
Yeah, Black
Boston.
Sabbath. Boston. Boston's awesome.
Look, man, they might not be the greatest. You got to understand, when they put out their first record, I want to say it sold 12 million copies. And I want to say every song on the album was released as a single.
Blue Oyster Cult.
I'm not hating on. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you are.
Greatest ever. Like, come on.
Ever?
Yeah.
No. That I will agree with.
Well, look, I mean, they only did 3 albums, yes. But
The
as far
first
as
one was a mofo.
The number of hits they were, I mean, like Guns N' Roses, really 3 album band, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not too much different. But
That's
Boston,
like,
I mean, yeah.
Appetite's a great album.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Boston's album was great. Okay, another letter. Let's go P.
P.
So you got the Police.
Pearl Jam.
Pearl Jam.
Pearl
Jam's a
Jam
good
would
one.
probably win that, yeah.
Yeah.
Because 30 years deep, 35 years deep, right?
Anybody else? Any other P bands?
There's got to be.
Far Side. That's not a rock band. Sorry.
That's an F.
It's a
Trying to
P.
think of a
It's
P
the way they
band.
spell it.
I mean, there's Primus, but we know they
PHAR.
didn't get it. You said the Police. I don't know. Are they rock? Were they rock? The Police rock?
But this is the idea.
Right,
So
right,
the
right.
band's going to start with that letter.
Pretenders.
And we don't know the letter yet. Mike, you'll give us the letter.
Proclaimers.
And then we'll see if we can.
God.
That's not it.
Sorry. I don't mean to say it like that.
Psychedelic furs. Yeah. How about X?
How about the band X?
Exhibit. Again, a rapper.
There was the band X, right? Wasn't that Billy Idol?
Yep.
Was there? No.
That was
this one was
Generation X.
Oh, he was Generation. Wasn't there a band just named X?
Yeah, they're XTC.
Okay.
There's another one. They weren't really. See, that's what I'm saying. You just got to figure out what is the biggest band that starts with that letter.
Maybe you name your rock band with the letter X. Just out of the competition, you'll probably be the best.
Z, I can only think of what?
ZZ
Zebra?
Top.
Oh, ZZ Top.
Got to be ZZ Top.
There's also Zebra. Well,
I mean, it's a band.
I forgot ZZ Top.
I know. Come on, man.
That's the problem with this game. You know, you just got to figure out what the biggest rock band
Zebra
is that started with Zebra. You know who's behind the door? Zebra. What other bands start with Z? None.
Not a whole lot, man.
I can't think of any.
I mean, I got to think ZZ Top. ZZ Top was good anyway, but you know.
But you can think of the challenge we have here today. So you're going to give us a letter, and we're going to figure out if we're right or not.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. People, the text lines like with the letter P, they're like, oh, I don't know, Pink Floyd, Pantera.
Oh my God.
Oh man, see, there's a pride. We're missing this.
Yeah, right.
This is how the game
Ziggy
is
Stardust, Miles.
Well, Ziggy Stardust was. It's not really the name of a band,
But
it's
it
the name
was
of
for
an
that album.
Yeah. So it's still David Bowie. Still Bowie on the album.
But he was Ziggy Stardust.
Yes, correct.
But he's the solo artist. The Glass Spiders would have been
It's
the
like
band.
saying that the Kiss album, Gene Simmons in this one is the demon.
Right.
He always is the demon. He was just Ziggy Stardust in that one. Because when Gene takes off the makeup, he's not the demon.
He's an ugly old man.
Is Kiss the biggest K band?
Ooh.
I mean, you could argue Kansas.
But they've
Over
got
Kiss?
one song.
Over a Kiss?
They've got one song.
No, they got more than one song, but they're not bigger than Kiss.
Kansas?
Yes.
Kansas has
Dust
more
in the
songs,
Wind,
I
Carry
think,
On My Wayward
than
Son.
Kiss.
What in the hell other song they got?
Carry On the Word with
Wayward
That's the
Son.
one.
Dust in the Wind.
Dust in the Wind, which was
I
massive.
close my eyes.
Only for a moment, and the moment's gone. I mean, Kansas is one of those bands, dude.
Kansas.
Just get their best stuff, and you'll be like, oh, I didn't realize this was them, but I know this song, and I don't hate it.
Yeah. Point of no return. How about Crocus? There's a K.
Crocus, there you
go.
go.
I'm always fighting for Crocus, but they won't win.
That's right. Kraftwerk.
Kill Switch Engage.
God, Kraftwerk sucked. Yeah, so this is the game.
Oh, someone says Poison. Yeah, Kiss My.
Yeah.
Yeah, Poison, that's a big band.
That's a huge band.
It's a P band.
Yeah, they are a P band. I've been saying that for years.
Yeah, P band.
They're still touring.
What's the biggest?
No, they're not. Brett Michaels is touring, playing all of your favorite hits from
Don't
Poison.
worry, they'll get back together.
He is playing. He's playing locally, isn't he?
Playing on the show.
We got to get him on the air.
Oh, we should.
We got to get Brett Michaels on
No,
the
he's
air.
at EQC, isn't he?
I think
We
he
should
is.
still get him on there.
Get him on there.
Because I've said for years, I'm like, look, I don't like anything about the guy, but he strikes me as a guy that I'd probably like, but I'd want to be honest and like, look, man, I don't mind you as a human being. I get your deal, bro, but seriously, your band
And you know what?
effing sucked.
Hey, look at this. And we're calling it this.
The Zombies.
The Steve Hill one-on-one interview.
Oh, yeah.
So we're all
Just
just
me
going
and
to
Brett.
leave the interview. We're going to leave.
We're going to leave you with
I
your
hope he
biggest
called
fan.
you out, too.
Yeah, we're going to leave the studio.
What?
And you're like, I just don't like your music. He's just like, dude, you know how much pee I got?
I know how much pee you got.
Did you see
That's
the
why I
video?
hate you even more.
I mean, he had a
because
whole
you wrote
show.
this garbage and you still got more
He had a
ass than
whole show
toilet.
that wasn't to
Yeah,
get a
what's it?
girlfriend, to get his rock and roll girlfriend, which
I
basically was
know.
like, you're just my side piece.
And you know what even irritates me? You can't get away from the guy, right? I'm in the stores, like 10 years ago. I go down the pet aisle because we actually needed dog food, and they got a dog treat hanging up on the little shelf there.
Yeah.
And there's a picture of Brett Michaels, and I'm like,
He
you
does very
have
well.
got to be kidding me. He's standing there with his red bandana on his head. I'm like, he makes dog treats?
He had a great Snapple flavor for a while there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah, because he was on Celebrity Apprentice, and that was the last deals. They each had to make a Snapple flavor, and his was a diet Snapple flavor that was it was good for people with diabetes.
Yeah,
it was great.
He's also headlining Carb Day at Indy.
Carb Day?
Yeah, it's like the
Are
Friday.
you being serious?
Is that like when they just serve bread?
No, I don't know. It's because they used to have carburetors in those engines.
Carb Day.
And he's hosting it.
So Friday, it's like the
Tortillas
last.
for everybody.
French fries.
It's the last practice. If you have a GA ticket, you can go wherever you want. They have the pit stop challenge, and then Miller Lite has a stage, and it's All American Rejects and headliner Brett Michaels.
Okay. Damn it, man. We're
K
missing.
is for corn.
We're missing life.
Korn's a good band for K.
Oh, Kiss. Now Kiss is still bigger, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Kiss is still bigger.
Yeah.
Now, I like corn more.
Sure.
but
I
Kiss
think
is
a
still
lot of
bigger.
people would make that
Depends
argument.
on when you grew up, like anything else, you know.
Well, yeah.
So if you're in the era of Woodstock 2, you like corn.
I think Kiss to me is
If you're
like,
in the era of like
but
Limp
Kiss
Bizkit,
is
you
like
like corn.
Kiss to me is like Star Wars.
That's exactly
You're
what
either
that is.
into it or
Yes.
not. But like as somebody that didn't grow up with Kiss, like I would go. I've seen their concert. I fathom what it is. But like, it's not like we play a lot of Kiss.
But don't.
We still play Korn.
Yeah,
We
well,
do.
They're
Yeah.
like next
And there's a
generation.
reason
Star
for
Trek.
that. But still, Kiss is
You
better.
guys say you love Kiss.
Yeah.
I have been to 100 bars, your houses. At no point were you guys like, let's put on some Kiss.
No, I mean,
No, you never do that. You don't do that.
No, you don't.
You don't do that ever.
You draw a line in the sand.
You don't
when
even
do
really
that.
own their albums. You know, you just gotta, I've got one that's like
I got all their
Alive
albums.
3 or something.
I got a handful of them.
You know,
I rarely listen, but I've got them all. Yeah. I do.
it's just like Crocus. You've
You
got
should
it.
do that, man. Just
What's
go
that?
home, do a little gardening, and put on the Kiss.
You know, I did that like 2 summers ago, right? I grabbed their first 3 albums, a.k.a. the original. Very good albums.
Yeah.
You know, definitely sign of the time. But
fantastic.
I'm like, I'm kind of rocking
Well,
out, man.
They did say that heavy metal is the best thing to listen to while gardening. I don't know why that study came out. It wasn't that long ago. I read it and went, why? I don't understand. So we're going to do the best rock band for every letter of the alphabet coming up at 4:30 as we'll sit and spin with the folks from the morning show.
On the nerves.
Today we're going to do that reverse question thing again where you tell us a little bit about your job and the worst day, the best day, just something that would give us an idea of it was a memorable day, obviously.
Memorable day, yeah.
And however it was memorable to you, then we will try to figure out what exactly it is that you do for a living.
But some are tougher than others, right? Because I have one that almost explains itself. Memorable, not good or bad, but a full-on bar brawl. I don't work at the bar, but I worked at the restaurant attached to the bar. But a bar brawl, that you're the bouncer, the bartender, cook, right? You can piece that together. The other crazy day, a coworker electrocuted and died.
Trying to change a light bulb.
Right. I was a dishwasher at Chief.
Yeah, but you could have been
That
you
one-
could have been like a
You would think of
custodial
electrician,
person. You could be-
construction.
yeah, exactly.
Like that. I'm washing dishes. I'm scraping black beans off of plates. But memorable day, man.
And he just hit it.
He just dropped. I mean, there's nothing
was
to
like-
it. He was standing on that. So at the dishwasher station, it's a long aluminum table. As you would imagine, it is wet because you're there at the dishwasher. There's a fluorescent light above that. It had gone out. He's a waiter. I don't know what he touched, if there was a loose wire, whatever. It's not like it makes a noise. It wasn't like the movies. I mean, dude just dropped dead.
Yeah.
And the power went out in the restaurant. But to Chi-Chi's credit, they didn't close the restaurant. If you're sitting out in the dining room, right, the lights went out, you don't know that someone has just died 5 feet away from you on the other side of the wall. We didn't let you know. He's like, no, don't let them know. I'm like, bro, I feel like we should close the restaurant. No, we're going to stay open. Let these people finish their meal. I'm like, Chris is dead, man. Like, his body is laying in the kitchen, and it's still like, go out there and serve the food.
Did you guys try to revive him?
I mean, there was an attempt, but I mean, I did not personally, but a couple of the guys.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
Clear.
he needs more. Shock him
I'm dead.
again. Yeah.
Stop. Oh, no. Okay. So I'll give you guys one. Obviously, you can put some clues together, Mike. I know you have this coming up in headlines.
You know I do.
But here's the idea, because this person was just let go of their job.
All right.
For what they did. They were caught on a security camera going to the bathroom on the steps of a family's front porch in California this Sunday morning. I know what you're thinking. Happy Mother's Day. The woman appears to go number 1 and number 2 on the homeowner's porch. The homeowner says they also found a dirty paper towel on the property. So I think we get an idea what went down, but that's not all. That same morning, that same person was caught on another family's camera about a mile away.
Come on.
Peeing on their walkway. And it was basically right next to where she was doing her job. Again, apparently she was able to...
She was doing her job when she did this?
She was.
So,
yes. The company said, we are deeply disturbed by the unacceptable behavior of our employee and apologize to the people and the customers involved.
I would think any company might say that.
The woman's face is clearly visible on the camera footage from the home. They did pass her information on to police. There is a good chance that she could face charges, but there are no details. So obviously, this person could be a postal employee.
I would say either you work for the post office, you do food delivery, or you do package
This person
delivery.
also could do utilities in the area.
Right, if they're going door to door, because this is on the job, right?
Right, correct. The worst case scenario in my mind is they just delivered you food, pizza, or any of those things. I think that would be the most disturbing thing if this was a DoorDash delivery person.
Yeah, and
They
there's
go
a
to your
turd
house,
next to it.
They take a crap, they use the bathroom, and they drop your pizza off. That would
I
be...
just don't think it'd be one of those people. Generally, you get it from them.
Okay, could it be a DoorDash?
You know what I mean?
Right.
Could it be
Whereas,
a
like,
door-
a person dropping off a package just drops it off.
Well, sometimes DoorDash just leaves the food, don't they?
They do, yeah, because we just ordered Five Guys Sunday.
And it's on the porch when you get there.
Yeah, it was on the board. My dog let me know it was there, yes.
Okay.
There it was.
I have the instruction. You call me.
Oh, do you? Well, you're in an apartment building, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll say this.
Do you know the person that would steal your food in the building?
If you had to
Actually, I don't think anybody would, because I have come home from a friend's house at 4 a.m., ordered something and fell asleep, and it was still out there when I got up at like a couple hours later.
4 a.m. you can order stuff?
Yeah.
Huh. Did not know that. Okay.
What did you order?
Yeah, 4 a.m.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
They're still open?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's Taco Bell.
I don't know.
They're like, look, if you're awake, you want us.
You know me, I go to
I
Taco
feel
Bell
like
for breakfast.
Right, but I feel like a bulk of the money is made after 9 p.m.
I would say, I don't know why they're even open before, say, 8
Breakfast. Breakfast.
p.m. Yeah, I mean, well,
They've
I'd
got a
say,
substantial breakfast menu if you go to a full Taco
but
Bell.
I'd say I would open from 8 p.m. to 9 a.m. Like, look, man, we're closed from, say, 9 a.m. until 8 p.m. because that's when you want us.
That's like, I don't know if it's the same.
And we get bigger orders because your drunk ass is going to get more food than you can eat.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
And I don't know if they're all, it's the same one as the one you grew up with, Miles, but in Wake Forest, there's like a famous biscuit place. But they literally open up at like, I want to say 4 or 5 a.m. and they close by like noon or 1.
Damn.
Okay.
It's basically just like drunk people and people that might want breakfast.
By the way, the driver was an Amazon delivery driver.
There you go. See?
But they are not. The way I recognize this is you got the Amazon delivery drivers in the electronic vans and trucks. You can clearly see those people. And then you got the guys that jam all their crap in a Volkswagen Golf and throw the package there. I have a feeling that's what she was because they said it was the person was contracted as a driver.
Then, yeah, they're third party.
So that tells me that, they get paid, but they're not
an official.
Amazon doesn't have to pay insurance. They don't have to do anything.
Well,
nice
there's
for
no Amazon logo on their vehicle. I mean, I have heard like some of the Amazon drivers or UPS, when they get busted pooping on someone's property, it seems like if the logo's on the truck, they have the decency to try to hide it behind a bush. Like they're trying to at least be discreet, and you go, I'm not happy this happened, but I understand your situation. This lady pooped on her porch, man.
I mean, both, 1 and 2.
That's one thing I have enough yard around my house. Like, look, if one's going to slip, can you go on my grass, or can you go behind the tree, or go behind a bush, not on my front porch?
And I know what you're thinking. Does this woman hold a vendetta against these people? I don't believe so. I really think that she just decided
had to go.
I think she just, because she did it a mile away at another's house and peed on their walkway.
Why wouldn't you just do both at once?
I'm telling you, it's an inherent problem as far as that job is concerned. I don't know. Look, especially in my neighborhood, I don't know where you can walk in and use the bathroom in my neighborhood.
Right.
In any establishment right now at this time, other than maybe a lunch place that's open.
I thought they had to because of the Crohn stuff.
Maybe. I would also think if I'm a delivery driver, it's different if I'm scratching the scabs of my arms. You make a judgment call, right? But if I'm delivering packages, or if I own a bar and a guy walks in,
right,
and I say no public restroom, it's like, dude, I drive for Amazon. Go ahead. I get it. I understand.
Exactly. And if you DoorDash, that means if I go to Pagliacci's and pick up a pizza, I can use the bathroom.
Sure.
So once I get to the next stop, I can go in and use the bathroom. But if I'm doing something like Amazon or UPS or FedEx or I'm a mailman, I know they've got spots. They have to have spots. They have a spot. They won't tell you where that is because obviously...
No. Don't tell people where it is.
Because obviously they want to keep that spot.
Actually, when we were in Spokane this weekend, they have this little waterfront park, and my son and I are walking through there. Sun's going down. I've got to go to the bathroom bad. And I realized, I am not going to make it back to the hotel before this is going to happen.
Did you ask the woman with no arms to unzip your pants?
No. Yeah. But there's a bunch of trees, there's some water. But as it turns out, luck would have it, there's a porta potty. So I'm like, man, I will go use that. I walk in there. It was the nightmare you would expect it to be in Spokane in a park, a single porta potty, right? And I mean, it was, luckily it had a little plastic urinal to the left, but the toilet is overflowing with turds and other drug-related paraphernalia, if you will. I cannot explain the stink, but I step out of this thing, and my son's standing there. Now there's this lady standing behind my son. And I looked her right in the eye, and I said, I promise you, you do not want to go in there. She's like, I don't care. I got to go. She goes in. I swear to God, the door was closed for 2 seconds. It opens back up. She's like, I'm going to hold it. I tried to tell you, man. That is a Spokane special going on in there.
So, good or bad, basically just tell us about your most memorable day at work, and we're going to try to guess what your job is. 206-803-ROCK, or was.
Hello, Sean. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, mi amigos.
Hola.
So, this is my worst day. It was the first time that I had to go on a lockdown.
You had to go on lockdown?
Okay.
All right, hang on. Is this out of the question for the profession you were in?
What's that?
Is it kind of out of the question for the job you were in, or is it something you could expect?
No, unfortunately, since I've been in this profession, it's happened every year.
And so sadly, you're probably a
guard.
teacher.
Oh, so you work for the government?
No.
Are you a teacher?
I am a teacher.
Oh, man. What grade do you teach?
I teach high school juniors. But, yeah, the first time we went on lockdown, it was one of those, I was looking for the adult in the room and then realized I was the adult in the room. And, yeah.
I think my daughter...
Yeah, how weird is that?
My daughter's done 2 so far. This year.
Right, like a legit lockdown.
This year. This is her first year teaching. She's done 2. I know.
Yeah.
So, to me, that's just like... That's not what I remember. School sucked.
No, we had fire drills. We had if we have a nuclear war drill, which seemed pointless, like we're going to die. We're not sweating that one. But we certainly did not have like an active shooter drill. It just wasn't a thing. So do you guys have drills for this?
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, I was in a different school on Friday, and we went on lockdown. And I didn't know what their protocol was, so I just adopted my protocol to their protocol. But
Hello?
Nope. Yeah, I mean, look, that's the giant issue too. When some people are like, "Oh, you should give guns to teachers," like, again, my brother's a principal. He's like, "Look, we had one." He's like, half the teachers couldn't even figure out to do what we told them to do.
Right, exactly.
Now you want them popping off rounds down a hallway? No, it doesn't seem very safe. No. And a lot of the teachers, like, not everybody is comfortable with a weapon.
Yeah, of course.
Like he's like, 80% of my teachers, like, I don't want anything to do with it.
They went to school to be educators.
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like that's in the same world. Tell us about your most memorable day at work, good or bad. We'll try to guess your job. 206-803-ROCK.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Oh, this Bosch miter saw really is smooth. Feeling smooth. Who said that? It's your inner Bosch, baby. I'm that scoobity-bebop smooth feeling you get when you make smooth cuts with that moobity-mibbity-mibbity-mubbity miter saw. So I'll just keep ski-bop sawing then? Now you're getting it. Beep-bop, beat-up, wow, miter saw is my favorite.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Pinky's Plumbing Studio, you're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
All right, good or bad, tell us about your most memorable day at work, and we're going to try to guess your job at the time. 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jay. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey there.
Hola. Hola.
Hola.
All right, Jay, what was your most memorable day at work?
So I've got one that we had spent, let's see, with this really large-scale project we were working on, and a lot of coordination and shipping was involved. So first shipment was detained.
Detained, okay.
And then there was another shipment that went out.
Now, are you on the shipping end or the receiving end?
Both.
Okay.
Okay. Was this overseas?
It was going overseas.
Okay.
So you work for the company that ships the stuff. Do you make the product?
Nope.
You work for a cargo company?
Nope.
So you don't work for the company that makes the product. You work for the company specifically that ships it?
Nope.
No.
Okay. What made it memorable that it was detained?
Okay, so it was detained because of something that a whole other entity did to the people who were processing the shipment going to its final location. They kept it because they were mad. So there was another shipment that went out through another route. That one was destroyed. Completely.
Intentionally?
Total loss. Intentionally destroyed.
You work for Tesla.
Different. Nope.
So was it intentionally destroyed because these same people were angry?
A different group of people, but they were angry for similar reasons.
Okay, was this a country that was angry?
Yes.
Oh.
It was like China? China.
No.
Canada?
No.
All right, just tell us.
Pakistan.
What were
I
you
knew it.
shipping? That was our next guess.
I knew it.
What were you shipping and or receiving that people were mad and destroying it? What was the cargo?
Construction materials.
And you're shipping it to Pakistan or receiving it?
They
from them?
ordered it and then they didn't want it?
Yeah, so we would, project management, and we were shipping the materials for our projects for our contractors to utilize in an overseas location for diplomatic purposes.
Aha. Okay. All right. So this is going to U.S. contractors, but the Pakistani people either held up the shipments or destroyed it?
The government.
Government. Okay.
Well, that makes more sense if you send it to contractors.
Yep.
And then the destruction part, and there was another one that also disappeared. Those
disappeared.
were not affiliated with the government.
Yeah, the stuff that disappears, what do you know?
But you're just shipping like lumber and crap, right?
Yeah.
So they're stealing it and
Yeah.
using it. That's all. Yeah, they're taking that crap and they're doing whatever they want to do with it.
Do you still work for this company?
I do not presently work for that company, but I did for a very long time. The thing is that we finally made Nicey Nice, and they decided to let everything go, but I had already sent another shipment because we needed the materials.
And what were you guys building?
An embassy.
Okay.
All right. Well, that
that's some of the pushback.
That explains why they didn't want that crap.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, that definitely
Like you
explains
killed
a lot.
Osama bin Laden. We're not going
Right.
to let you build an embassy.
Right.
We were trying to house him here for a while.
Well, everybody got along and everything got straightened out, but it was an absolute nightmare just trying to get basic building materials from one place to another because one group was mad at the other, and we didn't even have anything to do with them being mad.
Well, of course. But how long did it take you logistically to finally get this all sorted out and get the materials you needed to get there?
Oh, it was over 30 days. So I had contractors sitting on site getting paid, twiddling their thumbs.
I was saying, they're still getting paid. All right. And how long did you have this job?
Most of my adult life.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
All right.
Okay.
I didn't know we hung out and were friendsies with the Pakistanis.
Well, you don't have to be friends. I have an embassy.
Yes, well, I know.
I mean, that's the thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, when the 9/11 happened, I kind of figured they went, yeah, we don't need an embassy there.
Right.
You know. All right, so tell us about your most memorable day at work. We'll try to guess your job. 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Robbie. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
A special shout out to the Claw Daddy.
Oh, thanks, dude.
Anywho, so I was at a certain job where we take used motor oil, produce a certain product out of it, and I was loading it into a rail car. And as I was loading it, it takes about 2.5 hours to load this rail car. But I see a bunch of steam coming off of something, and I'm looking over, like, oh, what is that? So I called off over the radio, hey, Richie, come check it out for me, blah, blah. And I realized that I left the bleeder open. And I probably spilled close to 200 gallons of this product on the ground.
On the railroad tracks?
No, it was in the breezeway. It's something we use every day. You know, you drive on the way to Seattle, I guess you could say, with all the potholes, kind of.
Asphalt?
Yeah, I used to work at a re-refinery. Take used motor oil, refine it, all the bottom crap out of the crude oil, all the bottom gritty stuff, we turn it into asphalt. And I ended up spilling about 200 or some odd gallons of asphalt everywhere through a 2-inch bleeder.
What's the punishment for spilling 200 gallons of asphalt?
I couldn't get promoted to the next step for a year, and then luckily, the guys were friends. We all kind of laughed at it. It happens, but we got diapers out there, cleaned it up, got squeegees, tried to do the best we could, and I was still able to keep my job for the most part. So, but I don't work there anymore by choice. So I'm also bigger and better things.
What do you do now?
I called a few years ago. I actually work at U.S. Oil.
Oh,
what is going on?
I do not know what's going on today. That's bizarre.
Just got dark.
That's like the second or third one that just kind of hung up.
You know, it's sad. I'm just thinking of other memorable days, neither the best nor worst, but memorable. And I've told the story before, so you guys know where I worked. But I said, helium balloons were tied around the neck of a doll. The doll then floated and got trapped in a fairly significant structure in Baltimore City, and people thought it was like this racist thing going on.
An effigy.
Yeah. I worked at a restaurant. We just got drunk that night and tied the doll. We did not try to send it into the structure, but when she floated away, we tossed her off this balcony. She started floating away. And within 5 seconds, she is now stuck in this spinning sculpture. But the problem is there's no way for us to get her down. I mean, it's just impossible. And the thing about the structure is that it spins around on its axis, right? And so it's not just the doll is hanging by her neck from the structures, that she is going in these big 90-foot circles looping around, and she would get within maybe like 3.
Did it look like a small child?
Yeah, it's a doll. It was not an American Doll girl, but it was about that size, right? So it's like the size of a 1.5, 2-year-old, something like that. Little black girl, and she is now hanging by her neck. So it became a story for a day or two. Understandably, people were like, this is a racist, da-da-da. It really wasn't, man. She got stuck in that sculpture, and we're like, oh, no. But we all agreed, no one saw this happen. None of us admit to anything. Just let the news be the news. And the news is interesting, but it's terrible. Like you'd watch the news at night. My mom calling me like, I can't believe the crap that people do. And I could never tell her, like, hey, Mom, we were hammered drunk. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We closed the restaurant. We sent her off, and it got stuck in this freaking thing. We know how it looks, but that
was not
absolutely.
I mean, it's a little black baby doll being
hanging by her neck, swinging around in a circle. Yeah. Everything about it looked awful. I'm the guy that let it go. I didn't tie the balloons around her, but I'm like, all right, here we go. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, no, this is bad.
Good or bad, tell us about your most memorable day at work. We're going to try to guess your job at the time. 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Dave. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hello, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Hola.
Hola. So, my most memorable day was the day I almost died.
That will make it memorable.
Well, what made it memorable was how I almost died was absolutely terrifying. Almost died of being electrocuted to death.
You worked as a waiter at Chi-Chi's.
Yeah.
That's my interaction.
I did not.
Now, is electrocution a reasonable danger at your job?
No, it was not.
Okay, so this is not something that would even cross your mind. You're not an electrician or working in construction or anything.
Was working sort of in construction. Yeah, in construction, yeah.
Okay.
You were installing a washing machine.
No, I was not.
Was it high voltage?
It was high voltage.
And were you intentionally interacting with this high voltage thing, or did you back into it or something?
I was not the one responsible for connecting with the high voltage.
Aha.
Okay. Were you digging a ditch?
Ooh, I was not digging a ditch, but a ditch wasn't involved.
Okay. So you guys hit a cable?
Yes, a cable was hit.
So you're installing sewer lines, something like that? What?
No, something like that, yes. We were installing, should I just say it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were installing high-pressure, pressurized hot oil lines in the Colorado oil pan up in northwestern Colorado.
Okay. So were you physically digging, hit this wire, and just blew your ass backwards, or what?
No. So the story, you want to hear the story?
Yeah.
So I want to guess. Okay. So my job is we were loading pipeline from the back of a big flatbed into a ditch in the ground. And you do this by you have a big boom, and you have a cable that has hooks on, basically 2 big hooks on either end. One guy hooks one end, one guy hooks the other end, and the guy who's driving the truck operates this thing to lift it up, and we drop it into the ditch.
All right.
These are huge 12-inch pipes. And so myself and another guy are watching the ditch, walking along with the truck with these pipes, and the guy who's driving the truck is watching the ditch. And he's got the boom up because he's got a piece of pipe on it. And he does not notice, and I don't know how he didn't notice it, that the boom was up high enough that as it's driving along, all of a sudden it connected with a high-voltage line. And the only thing that saved my life was these were extremely long pieces of pipe, and the chain we normally use to hook them on the end to lift them in wasn't long enough, so we had to grab some of those canvas tow ropes to extend it. I still got buzzed enough to shock me and let go of it, but the truck grounded and started sparking to the ground. We dove away. The truck driver dove out over the ditch, and we stood there and watched in the middle of nowhere as this truck arced and melted to the ground. Tires popped. It didn't catch fire entirely, but it smoked and smoldered until the tires popped, and then it disengaged from the cable, and it fried the radio. This was back in the early 90s, and so we didn't have, like, cell phones.
So what do you just have to wait until the next shift shows up?
That was pretty much the power company.
Right.
Became very aware that something happened, and so they sent someone out to run the lines, and they found us standing there. But yeah, and the smoke actually alerted some people as well. But it was a while.
How long did it take for the truck to kind of, like you said, arc? The tires pop. When the tires pop, obviously the truck lowers, disengages. How long did it take for the truck to stop arcing?
I wasn't timing it. It seemed like a really long time. It was probably no more than maybe 5-10 minutes.
That's a pretty long time.
But it was loud. I mean, it was that arcing sound. You sort of hear in movies, and it's it's sparking all over, and it's arcing from the truck to the ground, and it was terrifying.
How far away did you get from the truck when all of this was going on?
Oh, we backed off. I mean, probably not far enough because we were young and dumb and like it was kind of cool, but we walked down the road quite a ways.
How many hundreds of miles is this pipeline, by the way?
That pipeline, I couldn't even tell you. I know the section we were replacing was about 15 miles worth. So we had refurbishment. So we dug up pipeline and either repaired it or replaced it, and the whole section needed replaced.
Why would they just put it above ground? I got to ask.
Because there's a lot of it. And people drive over a huge oil field. Yeah, you got gas lines, hot oil lines, and water lines pushing the hot stuff they use to heat up the crude. And it's all crisscrossing all over this huge desert oil pan in northern Colorado. So everything was below ground except for the power lines.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. You would not want to put that stuff above.
Well, I don't know. It just seems like it'd be easier to fix.
It's easier to fix, but it's also easier to destroy.
Okay.
Correct. That's the long and short, because you can't trust people, right?
Good or bad, tell us about your most memorable day at work, and we'll try to guess your job. 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Robbie. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
So this would be about my third week into this job. I was 20 years old, got offered it, and I was like, hell yes. And to start off, my job would be to pick these people up, be one person, bring them to this certain place. We'd work all day and then bring them back to the hotel or wherever they're staying.
Are you like a chauffeur driver or a van driver for bands?
So that chauffeur would be part of the job. I was supposed to pick them up at a certain time, bring them to a certain, I'll give a hint, location. We'd work all day at that location and then bring them back to the hotel.
Did this person work with you, or did you work in support of them?
They worked for the company I was working at.
So were you also like doing security or just driving?
Like I said, part of it was
what the hell's going on their phone today?
On the location as well.
All right, say that again as your phone. Were you doing security or just dropping them off?
So part of my job, I would pick them up, work on the location all day, and then drop them back off.
Okay.
And the hint is like the location.
What made it memorable about this job? Was it the people involved that you were taking, or was it like Good
Yes.
or bad? What? So was it a level of
It was
fame?
the people involved.
All right, was it a sports team?
Maybe to some people it'd be a level of fame. Yes, it's well watched around the entire world.
Were you driving porn stars?
Yes.
That was actually my first thought.
Ding, ding,
Battery
ding, ding,
strippers.
ding, ding. How did you know that?
So wait, when you said then you worked with them all day, after you dropped them off the location, what is your job at that point?
Yep. So I started off. I was 20 years old. Just started off as called a personal assistant.
Mm-hmm.
So I would help out moving lights, cameras, all that kind of stuff. But I would also, my job was to pick, I'm going to say, the girls up and drive them to set. After the shoot was done, I would drop them back off at their hotel. And it was one of my favorite stars at the time, and that's I was
Who was it?
super excited.
Who was it?
Riley Reid.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew Ted would know.
How do you know this? Wiley Reid.
Riley Reid. You said that was her name.
Yep.
Okay. Did you
She's
ever?
pretty famous.
Did you ever get any? Was there anything else that ever happened with you there?
Oh, yeah.
I'll say this, as I was, I'm not a bad-looking guy. I'm very respectful as well. And yes, it definitely happened.
With
Why not?
the person that you wanted it to?
Actually, well, I don't know if I can name names. I don't think I can get in trouble. I don't think so.
I mean, if they had consensual sex with
another
you.
one- It was, yes. It was all good.
They do it on
BB
camera.
Jones.
Who was it?
BB Jones.
BB Jones.
BB Jones. I have
an idea what I think a BB Jones should look like.
Blonde.
Okay, maybe not.
Just
Yeah, she was.
Oh wow! Good
just
for you.
selfishly,
Time.
I gotta ask you: Did you ever drive a Lexus Texas?
No, that was a little. No, I don't. She didn't work for Vivid.
Okay.
Oh, you worked with Vivid. Okay.
Oh yeah, dude, they used to come up here all the time and would like do interviews at radio stations and drop off.
I'm very familiar with Vivid. Not necessarily
Yeah.
all the names of them, but yes, I'm aware of Vivid's
were you
existence.
doing it
Yeah, Vivid,
here?
and then I worked for. Go ahead. No, this is down in L.A.
Okay, all right. That's what I
in
was
the
thinking.
valley.
How long did you have this job?
Actually, 4 years.
Were you able?
When I moved up from PA.
Were you ever able to go on set and check out what was going on?
Unfortunately, I couple direct this, not for Vivid, but I worked as well. The producer worked for both of them. Yes, he wrote me in a couple Gonzo films, which were, only like 15-minute long ones. But I was never downstairs was not shown. I was just
You're a pizza
I did not
delivery
want to
guy.
do that. But
Okay.
Robbie, do not show your penis, all right?
Exactly.
But you're in the movie.
Yeah.
We don't want to see that nasty thing.
You're going to play someone's dad.
Right. Good for him. Yeah, 20 years old.
Yeah, that's
You
why
are-
I'm just like I jumped.
Hell yeah.
Something in either strippers,
Right, yeah.
sports stars, or escorts. You're driving hot chicks around.
Good or bad, tell us about your most memorable day at work. We'll try to guess your job. 206-803-ROCK.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today. and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Oh, this Bosch miter saw really is smooth. Feeling smooth. Who said that? It's your inner Bosch, baby. I'm that scoobity-bebop smooth feeling you get when you make smooth cuts with that moobity-mibbity-mibbity-mubbity miter saw. So I'll just keep ski-bop sawing then? Now you're getting it. Beep-bop, beat-up, wow, miter saw is my favorite.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch. What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Our question, good or bad, tell us about your most memorable day at work. We're going to try to guess your job at the time. 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Jennifer. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
So I had someone ask me at my job if their crotch sweat or if they had sweat glands in their crotch because they constantly sweat there.
Veterinarian.
You work at a gym.
You said,
No.
Are you a nurse?
No.
All right, so they shouldn't have been asking you.
You worked at Victoria's Secret.
No.
All right, give us another hint.
You'll never guess. You'll never guess.
Is it retail?
No.
Is it, look, the question itself is kind of stupid, but in your line of work, is it a question that you might expect to hear?
I had never heard that question before, and I never heard it again in my 20 years of doing it.
Hang on. Were you like a physical therapist?
No.
You said the reason they asked is because they were always scratching there, right?
No, sweating.
Oh, sweating there.
Yes.
Were they
have sweat glands in their crotch.
Was this a coworker or was this someone who was working with you or a client?
It was not a coworker.
Okay.
So a customer.
No, not a customer.
I don't know. What is it?
I am a cosmetology educator.
Ah, okay. So,
well, that seems like a reasonable question.
Were you waxing them?
No, I was just teaching about skin, and because we have to do that in Washington, teach about the skin.
So what's the answer?
Yes, you do have sweat glands in your crotch.
Why did they ask the question if they pointed out because they keep sweating there?
This student was a very odd student, and eventually we actually had to take them off of working on customers or guests because of the fact that they were so bad at it.
From what standpoint? Just the general knowledge or the social factor?
A little bit of both. They also they would put colors on someone that they weren't supposed to. They actually cut someone really bad on their nail, causing it to bleed. Yeah, they had to be taken off working on guests.
What's a collar? I don't understand what that is.
What was that? Color.
Color.
Oh, I thought you said collar.
No, sorry.
What kind of kinky crap are you into? All right.
What's the worst damage you've ever done to someone as a cosmetologist?
What was that?
What's the worst damage you've ever done to someone as a cosmetologist?
Let's see. I guess mostly just hair falling out because it was overprocessed with bleach.
Now, is this your fault, or is it one of those things you warned them that this might happen? They said go for it anyway.
Oh, we always warn them, and they always just say, "I know my hair. You can do whatever to it."
Okay.
And then we make them sign something that says that they said that, so that they can't do anything about it.
So is this more like a beauty school, or is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so I was working at a beauty school.
Okay.
Was there one of them downtown back in the day?
No.
All right.
You thinking Gene Juarez?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. Why is it that so many people that work at a beauty school do such a poor job with their own makeup? It's not that the person who works there is ugly, but it's like they have blue eyeshadow, massive lipstick. You know, like that's not the person I would want to do makeup if that's what they look like. Is that just my imagination, or does that seem to be the case?
I think that might be your imagination, but there are also a lot of people that think that they look different in pictures and on video than they do in real life. And a lot of the times when they put on their makeup, they are doing it to look photo ready, but it does not translate well.
All right.
Yeah, it translates accurately. I mean, the camera's not nice to me. I'm like, it's not that. It's that you're ugly. I mean, like
yeah, what you see is what you get.
It's a camera. If you think your mirror is doing you a disservice, it's your face, and that's okay. But just accept it, man. Like, oh God, I look so bad in pictures. Like, hey, the rest of us knew that before we ever saw a picture of you.
Good or bad? Tell us about your most memorable day at work. We're going to try to guess your job. 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Celeste. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
Okay, so basically, this is my very first job, and I found out about a year into the job after we went without a manager for 6 months that my manager had been booked into King County Jail for having CP.
For having what now?
CP?
CP. Yeah, I don't know if I can say that on the air.
Child
porn.
stuff.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
Oh, you can say it.
Say it.
Yeah, I mean, you can say it.
Wait a minute. Start again. Somebody at your work got arrested for it?
Yeah, so
Sadly, that could be any job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So how old were you on your first job?
I was fresh out of high school.
Okay. Were you working retail?
Yes.
Okay. Was it a job that was the store more for adults or for children?
Anybody.
Anybody. So, clothing store, I'm guessing?
Of a sort, yeah.
Okay. All right. Where did you work?
I worked at Target.
Yeah, that's everybody, for sure.
Yeah, I mean.
And you said the manager got. So you knew the manager was in jail, but you did not know initially why they were in jail?
So what happened was he was a new manager. I was his very first hire. And about 6 months into me being there, he kind of went MIA. And nobody could figure out why. And so a couple months go by, he shows up for one day, disappears again for another 4 months. And then we find out a temporary manager came in and goes, yeah, some things happened. So-and-so is not going to be coming back. And one of my coworkers did some digging online. She found out that he'd been booked for having the material on his laptop at home.
Wow.
So he never came back to the store.
Well, good.
How do you feel about being his first hire? Because we're saying this is
he's a guy who thought you were okay.
This is a character judgment from this guy.
This guy says, I want this woman working with me.
I had mixed feelings about that.
Yeah,
I was just very glad he was gone.
Yeah, wow. Now, okay, so in any situation like this, can you think back to any red flags, or is this guy completely under the radar?
want to say no red flags, but I feel like he was more friendly toward a lot of our younger female employees. So
there's your red flag.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, listen, when I was it was elementary schools up in Rochester, we didn't give it much thought because in 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, that's just not where your brain is. But our teacher, Mr. Stryker, there was a girl in my class named Nancy, and he always treated her like she was like the daughter of a family friend kind of thing. But she wasn't. Always called her princess. Didn't call anybody else princess, right? And again, we didn't give it much thought other than for whatever reason, she's his favorite. And she never sucked up to him or anything like that. We didn't know what it was, right? Just, princess, whatever. So when we moved to Baltimore, it's about a year and a half out of elementary school, about a year and a half later, right? We're in Baltimore, and my father gets a call from a buddy of his who's still in Rochester. And then he actually sends him, because back then you had to physically mail the newspaper article. And so my father, he didn't immediately drop it on me. He's like, was your gym teacher Mr. Stryker? I'm like, yeah, man. I mean, like, he was all right. Cause it's like, was he weird or anything? I'm like, no, I mean, he's a gym teacher. So, he's a little short-tempered and all that. The only thing about Mr. Stryker was, even when we did kind of non-athletic crap in the gym class, like square dancing time, he still insisted that we take showers.
Oh, that was Mr. Munchen. He had a clipboard, right? And he went to jail.
Okay,
so he went to jail.
So my father
gets
gets
2 points every day for taking a shower. He would stand at the shower entrance and check your name off.
And my father gets this look on his face. And again, I'm still in kid brain, so I'm like, hey, man, he's just about cleanliness. He's like, listen, he got popped for child porn, the equivalent of it then, because it wasn't that then. I don't remember what they called it. But yeah, it's, I was like, oh, God. Because as soon as he said it, my mind went back to Nancy, a.k.a. Princess, and the fact that you had to shower, even if it was a day where, I don't know, you just sat on the gym floor, didn't even have to change into your shorts, right? Those occasional days that happen, you still had to shower. And I'm like, oh, my God, man. But the look on my dad's face when I mentioned the shower thing, because I'm kind of like, man, my dad looks angry. I'm not piecing it together. And then he told me, and I'm like, oh God, man.
Yeah, I knew there was a coach in our area the same way, right? Like everybody in my family coached baseball, but like, I don't know. Like, if kids need extra help, like, yeah, like, we'll put together a group hitting session, whatever. But he would, like, have one-on-ones with kids and pick them up. And eventually, yeah, that stuff came out. And, like, I don't think any of us were super surprised. Because we would even say, like, why is he picking those kids up?
I know two official
at home.
Two officially went to jail.
Right.
I know about 4 others that probably should.
Probably should have,
yeah. Good or bad, tell us about your most memorable day at work, and we'll try to guess your job. 206-803-ROCK.
All right, I don't want to be anywhere in a room where it's just teenagers.
No. I mean, it's just, like you said, you had to zip that kid's shorts for him, man. You didn't have to, but you were nice enough to do it. But again, but same thing, we're at that gym, and there's a kid taking a leak at the urinal, and like his pants are down to his ankles. He just looks at me and says, hi, mister. And I mean, no. I mean, that was my response, and I walked away.
There's your promo, Mike.
And then I feel bad. Yeah.
But I mean, even on the street, like when I lived in Capitol Hill, I remember once, like, there's just a kid running, right?
Yeah.
This kids run. But even at that point, like, I kind of, boxed out the kid so it would stop running because I could see the parents. But, like, I ain't not going to grab the kid by the shoulder or anything.
No. And I mean, you feel bad because you don't want to give kids like a bad idea, but it's like, dude, I cannot interact with you until your parents know it's cool.
There was a guy in India that I can't remember if a kid was like falling off of a cart or something like that, and he went to catch the kid.
All right.
And he ended up in jail. They thought he was trying to kidnap the kid.
Oh, my God.
Because he caught a kid who's falling?
It was something like that. Like seriously. Like something, either pulled the kid away from a car coming by or whatever the deal was. They're like, he tried to take my baby. And he ended up in jail.
And people get so
for real.
Like at what's the park near us? Maple Leaf Park, right? So there's the playground area, and they got that spinny thing the kids like to stand on, and you go faster. So once adults get attached to this thing, and you're responsible for spinning them, then every little kid runs over. They're all screaming faster. Now keep in mind, you know your kid, you know your kid's friend or friend. I don't know the rest of them, but there they are, right? Fine. You're spinning this thing, and this one girl goes flying the hell off. Right? Goes like 8 feet, lands in the sand, and almost to your point to the guy in India, like, I don't want to run over there and cradle this girl. Clearly she's in duress because I just flung her ass off of this ride by accident. So I get within 3 feet of her, and it's like, you all right? Just That's the best I can do. Yeah, you're all right, man. Seriously, I'll have a conversation with you, but I'm not going to put my hands on to help you up.
Right, you picking up a little kid's not going to be the best look.
All this happened in the United States.
It was the U.S. Even though I flung her ass, this is my responsibility, and I felt bad, hey, I know I'm responsible for your ass being over here in the sandbox, but at 3 feet, that's it, man.
That's another parent's got to help. You can't get stuck on that thing.
You need, another parent. If there's 2 parents, even if it's not my wife, just somebody else, then you're cool, but you can't do it solo, man.
Yeah, Jesus. Good or bad, tell us about your most memorable day at work. We'll try to guess your job. 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Tim. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
Okay, so I was going out to look at a house. It was out in the country. Went to the front door, knocked on the door. Nobody was supposed to be home, but I was knocked, went ahead and went in. And my job was I needed to look into every room of the house, measure rooms, measure the exterior, and so on. So I start on the exterior, then I go into the house. I do the upstairs. I go downstairs into the family room area, and it's a basement. And I open up the door, and there's these 2 guys, butt-ass naked, going to Pound Town. Big time.
I
didn't expect to.
Did they live there?
Well, then I'll get there. They didn't expect to see me. I didn't expect to see them.
I think that's fair.
And they were bigger guys. They jumped up, butt-ass naked and fully erect, charged me.
No way. Oh, no.
Slammed me against the wall. Yeah, slammed me against the wall. What the F are you doing in the house? Blah, 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 blah. Thinking I'm a burglar, that I'd broken in. Well, I was there by appointment. The owner had neglected to tell his renters that I was coming.
Were you appraising the place?
I was.
All right.
Okay.
So wait a minute. So you go in.
That was the scariest and funniest appraisal I ever did.
How long did it take for these 2 naked, erect, big men who are ready to beat your ass before they calm down and understand the situation?
Well, I had the file in my hand, and I handed it to the one that wasn't petting me against the wall, and it had the owner's name and contact information and, the company that I worked for, and they let me show me my ID and my appraisal license, and they finally calmed down. They're still standing there ass naked, and then they felt stupid.
What do you mean they calmed down? I mean, did they calm down, or did they calm down?
I don't recall, but
okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was like, hey guys, I need another 15, 20 minutes to finish my job, and I'm gonna get out of here. And they're like, well, give us a minute to get dressed. And I'm like, well, yeah.
Well, why does it matter now?
Yeah, exactly.
You just held me against the wall naked, brother.
With an erection. I've never been pinned to the wall by a naked man.
Who has an erection?
Who's excited?
We should be as comfortable with each other as we're ever going to be.
Hey, man, what's your name, brother? Can I shake your hand? I don't know. No.
I'm with Thrill with the erection.
No. It was bad enough they were already touching me.
So,
wow.
So after they understand why you're there, you just go about doing the job at hand as though nothing had happened?
Yep. I had driven an hour out in the country. I wasn't going to come back later. And I was almost done. They got dressed and hid out in their room.
I was going to ask,
didn't have to
did you see them again after this?
They did come upstairs as I was leaving. Eyes to the floor.
Like, have a nice day or anything like that?
I mean, did they apologize?
Well, they apologized, yeah. They're like, hey, I'm really sorry. And at that point, they were angry at the homeowner for not letting them know.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It was
I get their point.
That is kind of funny.
Right? Like, it's like, I mean, I ran a place. If somebody just walked in, I'd be like, what the F?
I like their response, though. They didn't cower. Let's bum rush them. Naked. Penises out, man. Bum rush. I'm already bum rushing.
Wow. Okay.
That's unexpected.
Okay. Good or bad, tell us about your most memorable day at work, and we'll try to guess your job. 206-803-ROCK.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive. Most of you aren't just listening right now. You're driving, cleaning, and even exercising. But what if you could be saving money by switching to Progressive? Drivers who save by switching save nearly $750 on average. And auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Multitask right now. Quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $744 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines nonstop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
No matter why you give, your donations can do so much more with a donor-advised fund from DAF Giving 360. You can get a tax deduction upon funding an account, and your assets can potentially grow tax-free as you recommend when and where to give. It's a tax-smart way to maximize your charitable giving from a fund with over 25 years of expertise bringing donors, financial advisors, and charities together. Make a greater impact with DAF Giving 360. Learn more at dafgiving360.org.
Do you think astronauts fight over elbow room? Probably. Because advanced tech doesn't always mean more space. Until now. Introducing the Hyundai Ioniq 9. A 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ioniq 9. Space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Ioniq 9 is available in extremely limited quantities at select dealers in select states only. EPA estimated range based on fully charged battery. For comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors.
Best rock band for every letter of the alphabet. Coming up, we'll sit and spin with Steve Miggs and Taryn Daly from the Daily Miggs Morning Show. That's coming up at 4:30 right after emails on our question, good or bad. Tell us about your most memorable day at work. We're going to try to guess your job. 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Carrie Ann. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
I had to work Thanksgiving Day, and somebody asked me how to cook a turkey.
So you had to work Thanksgiving Day. You're working at a
grocery store?
Ooh, strong.
No.
Mm-hmm. Does it have anything to do with cooking or food?
No.
It doesn't.
That's why it's memorable.
You're a nurse.
No.
All right.
Was this
So
a coworker that asked you?
No, this was somebody they called.
They called you to ask how to make a turkey on Thanksgiving.
But you don't do anything with food.
No.
Are you a 911 operator?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So you work at 911. It's Thanksgiving Day. Someone calls it this turkey question. Now, do you try to walk them through it, or do you say, hey, man, this is an emergency line, and this is not that?
I told them that the higher temperature that they cook it at, the faster that it will cook.
That's in theory true, but that's not how you want to cook a turkey.
She didn't say she was going to help to make a good turkey. She said, what time of day did they make this call to you?
I want to say it was around, it was in the late afternoon.
Oh, they're screwed. Yeah, it's way too late.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely
plus,
screwed.
Butterball has a hotline. It doesn't matter if I buy a local turkey from a farmer.
Right,
If I don't know what the hell,
Butterball.
I can still call Butterball. They will assist me.
You can also call 911 and ask for Carrie Ann. Now, Carrie Ann, how long did you work as a 911 dispatcher?
It was about 5 years.
5 years. And were you ever in a position where you, just by being on the phone, saved someone's life? And I don't mean you got the ambulance there. I mean, like, taught someone to do CPR or how to do the Heimlich or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the regular occurrence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So was the turkey call the weirdest one you ever got?
It was just memorable. You know, the strange became norm. You know, so there wasn't a whole lot that stuck out because they were all just rather ridiculous. I do remember there was a politician, a female politician. I don't live in Washington anymore, but I don't know if she's still in politics, but something had happened with her battery or something, but she was locked inside her car. And we didn't have anybody that was available. And, it wasn't, it wasn't really hot or really cold. She was fine. But she...
you just left her in there.
Well, no, I just didn't have anybody to send to her right away. And, she had to remind me that she was the representative for that area and who she was. And, it didn't matter if it was the queen. I didn't have anybody.
How many times did you have to explain this to her before she accepted it, or did she accept it?
Well, she called in the first time and, we entered the call, got her information and entered the call. But then when nobody showed up within the first 2 minutes, she called back and subsequently called a couple of times. And I sent a message to some of the other call receivers, and I said, hey, if this screaming Mimi comes back, just a heads up. And so I heard my coworker answer the phone or say, I heard going, what? I can't hear you. I don't know. Oh, is this Mimi?
So how long was she stuck in the car?
I mean, you can't call a tow truck driver, nothing?
Well, she could call a tow truck
Yeah,
driver.
that's what we're saying.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, can you just say, you need to call a tow truck guy?
Yeah, can you explain, do you have AAA?
Do you have a husband that has a crowbar? Someone needs to come and break a window.
Right. It was not, it was not life or death or imminent danger. And, I just thought, well, remember this when, you have bills come up in Olympia that, have some fiscal note attached to it to add more police officers to respond.
Okay, fair enough.
I support that kind of.
I will say this.
You said she was locked in her car.
Yeah, there was something with the battery that she wasn't able to roll the windows down or even open the doors. She had to remind me, of how supportive she is of, law enforcement and whatnot.
No, that's great, but they do real things.
Yeah.
You're stuck in your car.
Here's what you do. You get on I-5. You drive back and forth between JBLM and Olympia. That is the highest concentration of state troopers in this state.
Right.
You drive 105 miles an hour. I guarantee you, a cop is going to assist you.
Right. And then when they pull you over, I wanted to get your attention.
That's exactly why I was driving. Why were you going 105, man?
So you
Because
pulled
I'm
me
locked
over.
in my car. I can't even roll the window down.
I'm just curious, what percentage, you work in 911, quote-unquote, emergency, what percentage of the calls that you got were actual emergencies?
I would say probably, a lot of them were, calls of, people come out and their car was broken into and whatnot. It wasn't an emergency, but they did need a response of some sort. But as far as, immediate response, needing an immediate response, I would say maybe 25%.
Damn. All right. That sounds about right. Yeah. People have their own version of an emergency. And it's I get it. But is it 911 worthy? I can't find my keys. This is an emergency to me. But
that one's a little more believable because you could just imagine a politician being arrogant.
Oh, of course. Why aren't they here yet?
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't vote for you. How about that?
Some people, I think, are just dumb.
I think both of those things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
You're stuck in your car. Break the window.
Or sometimes, it's the middle of the day. It's well, the dog keeps barking. It's well, it's a dog. It's in a yard.
And that's
you
what
don't
dogs
need
do.
to call the cops for that.
But they do. You think anyone actually just calls 311? I feel like 911 gets all the calls. You're like, dude, this is a 311 problem, including your turkey being stuck in the car. And like Miles said, you could call AAA. You could call a tow truck driver. You could call the locksmith. You could call any
Call
body.
any relative you have and say, look, I'm locked in my car. You need to get over here with a baseball bat.
Yeah.
You need to break Mimi out of this.
Mimi. This seems like a simple solution.
Good or bad, tell us about your most memorable day at work, and we'll try to guess your job. 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, John. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bicholas.
Hola.
All right. So this was my first day on the job. We were at a residential house, and the guy I was with was using this equipment, and he got his hair stuck in it and wrapped all the way up. Pretty much to his scalp. So I had to pull my pocket knife out and cut his hair off of this machine. And I mean, if I wasn't there, it would have ripped, the hair off his head. I mean, it was a crazy situation.
So after it caught his hair, it was still pulling it. Like, in other words, the machine was still operating?
Yes. So
it's a slower moving machine then, obviously.
Yeah, it's supposed to have a device that you take your foot off of, so like a foot pedal.
Yeah.
And ours didn't. So I was holding a power cord, unplugged the machine when I saw it grab his hair, and tried to stop the drum from spinning, and it just kept spinning. So it wrapped all the way up. I mean, it was touching his scalp.
Oh. But it didn't scalp him, right?
Nope. But if I had went to the work truck I was there about 10 minutes earlier and had walked away from him. And if it would have been at that time, I mean, all I could imagine was it would have scalped his head.
Damn.
Yeah.
So what do you do? I can't even guess at this.
Like I said, this was my first day. The second job that day, this will tell you kind of right away. So I wasn't familiar with everything and opened up a pipe, and they were all backed up. So I took a sewage shower on the second job after cutting this.
So it's just like a Roto-Rooter kind of thing?
You work in an RV dealership.
No, the Roto-Rooter type thing, yeah, a plumber.
Okay, all right.
And he got his hair stuck in the Roto-Rooter.
It was, yeah, and like I said, it wasn't like it was half of his hair. He had hair down to his chest, and it was windy out. It caught it, and luckily I noticed and just unplugged that, tried to stop the drum,
Jesus.
but it still wrapped all the way up to his scalp, and he's sitting there yelling, "Do you have a knife? Cut me free."
Did he
stuck to this thing.
Did he finish his shift, or did he go home?
Nope. He so after I cut his hair off, he's going, "Oh man, oh," and he smokes a cigarette and goes right back to the job and finishes the job.
See, I gotta call I gotta call my boss. Go like, look, dude, I gotta go to Rudy's. I need a haircut, and I can't just walk around like with this. You gotta see me, man.
It's not even a cool story to tell. What happened? I was using a Roto-Rooter, dude. I'm getting poop out of
Yeah, but he's still on the job.
That's true.
All right, like if you called me and I'm your boss, like I gotta go to Rudy's, like no, you don't.
Just
finish the job. You can go get a haircut later.
That's when I think there's an advantage to being a smoker, right? Just the idea, like anybody's going to take time to try to shake it off, but somehow as a smoker, you're like, let me have a cigarette for whatever reason.
Even if you're not a smoker, I need a cigarette right now.
Right, you can take that 5 minutes and somehow make sense of your world.
Good or bad, tell us about your most memorable day at work, and we'll try to guess your job. 206-803-ROCK.
Yeah, and people don't. It's funny because smoking, right? Like there's plenty bad things about it, right? People don't like the smell
most of it. Yes.
But you're right.
And those
like even if you're just waiting for people to leave and you're standing there having a cigarette, people go, "Oh, he's having a cig."
Right.
But if I was just to stand there and be like, "I don't want to get in the car for another 3 minutes," people be like, "F you, get in the car."
Get in the car, man. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines nonstop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
With over 25 years of expertise, DAF Giving 360's donor-advised funds can help you get a tax deduction and potentially grow your charitable dollars tax-free while you recommend when and where to give. Learn more at dafgiving360.org.
Do you think astronauts fight over elbow room? Probably. Because advanced tech doesn't always mean more space. Until now. Introducing the Hyundai Ioniq 9, a 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ioniq 9. Space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Ioniq 9 is available in extremely limited quantities at select dealers in select states only. EPA estimated range based on fully charged battery. For comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors.
Hello, Joe. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
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 So what?
I'm Joe, and where can I start out with this wonderful day at work of mine?
Well, what happened?
Well, my pants fell down.
Your pants fell down.
You're a stripper.
Yeah.
Are you?
No.
Is this in front of coworkers? Or is this in front of clients?
Okay, I'm sorry. I've got to end this call, you guys. I'll call back.
Oh, no.
Okay.
We're not gonna find where pants fell down.
Jesus.
That was a strange phone call. In a
That
while.
was very weird.
Where do I start this? We'll just start it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's your story. How the hell do we know? It's not how crap works.
Your pants could fall down at any job.
Almost cussed.
Yeah, that's true.
Good or bad,
Yeah.
tell us about your most memorable day at work. I'll try to guess your job. You've got to give us a little more.
Come on, man.
We could do this together.
But now I want to know why her pants fell down. Hello, Jeffrey. Welcome to the men's
She's a
room.
priest.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
So I was working one night. It was a very slow evening, and it was pouring down rain, and the parking lot had flooded. And I told my coworker for $100 I would strip down to my boxers and go swimming. And about 30 seconds later, 4 ladies that were patronizing the place had ponied up 25 each, and I stripped down and went swimming.
You worked at a restaurant.
Bar. I was a bartender.
Yes, of course. So were they happy to see you naked, do you believe? Was this all a ploy?
Oh, I believe so. I think they enjoyed it.
So wait, you asked a coworker to come up with the money, and then the coworker asked your patrons to pony up, or
My
did you?
coworker was the DJ, but if I said the DJ, that would have given it away. So.
Yeah, fair
All right,
enough.
okay. Was it really deep enough to be able to swim in it?
Oh, yeah.
God, that's a lot of rain.
Jesus, man.
Where were you?
In Tumwater, Washington.
Okay. All right.
It was a place called Trosper's. It's called The Brick now, but that was 20 years ago, though. I bartended for 22 years. I finally got out of it. I knew it was over when girls used to, if a guy was bothering them, they'd tell him I was their boyfriend, and some girl told this guy I was her dad, and I knew it was over then.
Is that really? Oh, man.
That's my dad behind the bar.
Oh, man. And you guess what? You probably math added up.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I mathed it, and yeah, I could have been her dad.
That's
And that's really when it hit you that you wanted to move on.
Yep. I was done with the bartend and got out of it.
And what did you go into?
I'm an insurance adjuster.
Oh, I was going to say real estate.
Okay.
Oh, not a bad call. Not a bad call.
Yeah. Got my real estate license. All right.
It'll smack you right
I
in
know
the
a
face.
lot of bartenders who got the real estate license.
Yeah. Real estate license, drink rumplements. What bar did you work at?
Same with baristas. Seems like they like the real estate world as
Oh,
well.
really?
Well, under two.
I thought that was more of a nursing school thing. But
Could be. Could be.
I think it depends on the barista.
Strong point.
Bikini, nursing school.
Right. Starbucks, real estate.
Tell us about your most memorable day at work, and we'll try to guess your job. 206-803-ROCK.
I know somebody, obviously not on this coast, but they were like a manager at Checkers forever, which actually was a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But then she just switched to Starbucks. I was like, why? And she was like, Checkers is ghetto.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it is. Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bitch, hola.
Hola.
So, this job I was working, it was about 2 a.m. I walked into the restroom. And there's a guy sticking a syringe in his neck.
In his neck?
In his neck. And proceeded to tell me that his blood sugar was too high, and he was giving himself insulin.
Yeah, okay,
In the neck.
man. Yeah.
Now, is this a 24-hour establishment?
Yes.
Okay.
But you can go inside. So fast food usually is 24
I'm
hours,
saying-
but they
But you
close the
can't- but you
inside.
can't get in.
Grocery store.
You stock shelves? No.
No, nothing. 7-Eleven or convenience store?
No.
Did you sell? Hang on. Did you sell food?
Some parts sell food.
So like a gas station?
No.
I got one last guess, like a super Walmart kind of deal.
Nope.
All right.
Hang on. Don't give it to us yet. It's over 24 hours. Only part of it sells food. The dude was in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it's not Walmart.
It's not Walmart, not 7-Eleven.
Not IKEA.
Can't be oh, did you work at a casino?
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
Food and beverage supervisor.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Do you really think that he was having a diabetical emergency
No.
there?
No. You
No.
do not shoot yourself in the neck with
No.
insulin.
Come on, Miles.
I get it, buddy. No problem.
I mean, what do you tell the guy? Like, yeah, man. Or do you say, dude, you got to go?
Well, I told him, I said, hey, what are you doing? He said, oh, my blood sugar. I immediately get on the radio and say, security copy.
Yep.
Yeah, get your blood sugar ass out of the casino.
Get your blood sugar.
Jesus. Good or bad, tell us about your most memorable day at work, and we'll try to guess your job. 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Lori. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, hola.
Hola.
I was working for a company for 20 years, and one day my boss called me and said, whatever you do, there's a lady that's going to come into your place, and she's going to want to check things out. Let her do whatever she needs to. I said, okay. So I knew something bad was going to happen. So this lady walks in, shows me her badge, and says, whatever you do, act like I'm not here, and just sit at your computer and act like you're working. And wait for me until the end of the night, and I'll tell you what's going on.
To the end of the night? How long is that? How long of a time period?
Till 5 o'clock.
In the afternoon, right?
Well, yeah, I work 9 to 5.
Okay. All right.
Working 9 to 5. I'm guessing you worked at a bank.
Yeah, I was going to say the bank.
Yes, I did.
Why was this person there? Was the bank under threat or something?
Yes, the FDIC came and took over my bank.
My
I
son-
lost all my bank stock for retirement. I lost my sick leave. I lost my seniority. I lost everything.
Why did you lose everything?
Well, because what happens when a bank goes under like that, they want to make sure the customers are taken care of and they're covered. So it goes in steps. Each person is taken care of, and then it goes down to the employee. And by the time it goes to the employee, the bank has nothing.
Right.
Right, because FDIC is just make sure your money that you put in there is protected.
Exactly.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yep.
Here's the other crazy part about that. Now, my sister does that for a living. All right.
Wait,
Now,
does the bank take over things?
she goes in, and they don't let anybody know they're coming, and it's kind of like it's very much an undercover operation. But in small towns with smaller banks, when the feds come into town, it's almost like when the feds would come in to bust drugs.
Right.
All right. The word gets around town.
Of course.
When you have suits in a Fairfield Inn in the middle of Indiana, in a
Right.
small town, all right, they don't know exactly what they're doing yet. But once they figure it out, let's just say, so the next day they raid the bank, right?
Yeah.
They go in. Now, it doesn't just happen in one day. So they're going to be in that town for about a week. Now, every time they walk into a Waffle House or a restaurant or any of these things, when the bank shuts down, everybody in town knows it.
Sure.
So as far as worrying about spit in your food or very
Right.
uneasy situations or at a bar and everyone's staring at you, like she will attest. There's been some situations where she's like, this is sketch as F.
Oh, yeah.
Like as far as, are these people going to just absolutely lose their minds and come out? First of all, they don't like government anyway.
Of course.
So are they going to, what
Well,
are
they should be mad at that bank.
Yeah. But that's not how people think.
Right, exactly. I know Dale, man. He's worked there for 15 years. He didn't do anything wrong. He probably didn't do anything wrong.
It doesn't mean the bank did.
Yeah, but the bank probably did something wrong. Still to come, Terry and Daly, CMX from the Daily Mix Morning Show. Join us. We'll sit and spin. We've got the best rock band for every letter of the alphabet. And your email's coming up next from the men's room at KISW.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth. For a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
No matter why you give, your donations can do so much more with a donor-advised fund from DAF Giving 360. You can get a tax deduction upon funding an account, and your assets can potentially grow tax-free as you recommend when and where to give. It's a tax-smart way to maximize your charitable giving from a fund with over 25 years of expertise bringing donors, financial advisors, and charities together. Make a greater impact with DAF Giving 360. Learn more at dafgiving360.org.
Do you think astronauts fight over elbow room? Probably. Because advanced tech doesn't always mean more space. Until now. Introducing the Hyundai Ioniq 9. A 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ioniq 9. Space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Ioniq 9 is available in extremely limited quantities at select dealers and select states only. EPA estimated range based on fully charged battery. For comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
All right, Takano will be joined by the Daily Mix Morning Show. We will sit and spin. We've got the best rock band for every letter of the alphabet. But first, time for a few emails to the men's room at KISW.com.
You've got mail.
Jump right to the birthdays, brought to you by Men's Room Roasted Red Salsa from San Juan Salsa Company.
Dip responsibly.
What's up, gents? Love the show. Best thing on the radio. Anyway, hook up my stepson, Liam. He's 15 with the Dirty Germans. We cannot do that.
9.
Yeah, you got to be 18 years old, Dad. He does spend a lot of alone time in his bedroom.
Yeah,
Claims
we know.
he's gaming, but I'm not sold on that.
No, he's gaming, yeah.
Thrill Your Bane is the best. Thanks. Lots of love from Dave the Rock Slinger, a.k.a. Uncle Daddy Pig. Coach, you want to give a 15-year-old some advice on playing video games?
So, yeah, I don't play a lot of video games. I will say this, just some life advice at 15. You're not as slick as you think. Do your own laundry.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gentlemen, all the guys turning 31 today. All I want is a big old bong rip. And the Dirty Germans and the captain talking about their experience smoking the devil's lettuce. Thanks, guys. That from Jake the podcaster.
Yeah, it's not so much that I smoke the devil's lettuce, but I do enjoy smoking on the tube.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird name for the body parts. It's the lettuce.
Ooh, well, ahoy there and happy birthday. Oh, the old Capitan and his mascot friends sampling the devil's lettuce. Well, understand that we kind of have a guaranteed way of getting our hands on it because, as it turns out, when you look under the Jolly Green Giant's guilt, his pubic hair is marijuana, and he doesn't mind trimming it up, packing it into a bowl, and smoking. And I'll tell you, not only do you get high, you get horny, and then you get easy, and that's why he always says, ho, ho, ho. He's describing us. Crunchberries.
Would you smoke from that bowl?
I would.
Charles, and a special shout out to the Claw Daddy Ted. It's my 35th trip around the great big flaming ball. Want to say thank you guys for making the trips to work easier with all the laughs. Want to give a shout out to Julie, Kayla, Skylar, Carter, Blake, and Faith for being an amazing part of my life and making my birthday great.
You know he left someone off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fred's like, what the hell, man?
Can I get the Dirty Germans telling my lady Julie what I want to do tonight with her cake? And Coke Ted telling me how much Coke to put with my Jack. Love you guys, rock on, and keep making the world go round, guys.
Yeah, it's quite simple. He wants to do with his cake what he wants to do with you. Eat it.
Yeah, or, before that, like the cake, you probably need a frosting.
Yeah. Stick your fingers in it.
All right, you drinking Jack and Coke? How much Coke do you put with it? Well, it's Coca-Cola, 0. All right, be a man. Drink that Coke on the rocks and maybe do some cocaine. I don't know. They sell them in 8 balls. They sell them in grams or ounces, quarters.
Just get some, right?
Yeah, I don't really know outside of an 8 ball.
Cocaine. Get some.
Get some. Your life will be better for a few hours.
Like 5 minutes. I'd like to give a shout out to my beautiful wife, Joan, on her birthday. She is the love of my life and the best mother to our 2 girls, Ella and Mila, or Mila. Mike, I would like a 10-gun salute, your choice. Thrill doing his random gunshots, and the Dirty Germans talking about what it's like to be married to a long-legged blonde Polish woman. Thanks, guys, for making my afternoon just a little bit better while working my tail off on doing fences. That from Jeff.
So, suck it up, cupcake!
Ooh.
Fish sandwich?
Howie Chestnut!
A script is a story. It's not a storybook.
Uh-oh, look out.
Oh, dear Jesus!
Please clap.
Get. Yeah, you want to know what it's like with the long-legged Polish blonde whose name is Joan. Yeah, we call her the Joan Bone. It's something we have special for her.
So I wonder how long those legs are, how many times they could wrap around the Polish kielbasa.
Yeah, 7 times. It's quite weird, but it's okay when you get used to it.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I'm writing in to wish my gorgeous
take
wife...
her to the Black Sea?
Yeah.
Writing in to wish my gorgeous wife, Courtney, a very happy birthday. She's the love of my life, the center of my universe, and has given us a genuinely great kid. Courtney is an extremely hardworking apprentice plumber on the cusp of journeying out. who never hesitates to volunteer her precious little time to our union and others. With that said, can I get a Leroy Jenkins and have the Dirty Germans talking about plumbing and birthday plans? Love you, Courtney. I'll thank you guys for your time. That from Andy.
Let's do this. Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah, I like that this Courtney is into the plumbing. That means she doesn't mind going to places where there is the poop. That is what you'll be doing tonight.
Yeah, so it also means that, whichever it takes, she will check all the pipes.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one, maybe it's two. I don't know. So fingers are hers.
And Macholas, my sister Lisa turns 50 today. Could Ted and Thrill please give her a little dirty German action? And could you all talk all over each other in honor of her 50th spin around the sun? Thank you, guys. That from the lovely Janet.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, for your 50th spin around the sun tonight, we will do 50 spins ourselves and hopefully not create a sun.
So yeah, I like the idea. It's a 50s, between the two of us. That's at least 4 COs. Because then we'll bring in the mystery guest. It's Mike Hawk.
50th spin around the sun.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. 50 years old. I thought it was a quick
What's amazing to me is how quickly 55 popped up.
They get away with all the stuff and they listen.
Freaking weird. Okay, let's see here, guys. Here you go. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ja, the Dirty Germans, brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Think about a couple extra emails here, guys. You're talking about hitchhikers. The Trickler here. Catching up on the Full Show podcast on the free Odyssey app in New York. I paused it when Miles was talking about someone wanting to hitchhike across the United States. Guys, the OG Trickler did just that. He hitchhiked from Hawaii to Rochester, New York. I asked, how was that possible? He was living in Hawaii, probably a Coast Guard assignment. He paid $6 for a ride from Hawaii to California on a Navy freighter. Then hitched from there to Rochester across Route 66. I'm guessing it was 1963 or 64. He said he had very fond memories of that trip. Later, Bacholas, and love you. That from the Trickler. My dad is the OG Trickler, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. One more. Gentlemen, listening to the podcast on the Odyssey app last night, heard you guys wondering why people can't make a goddamn pot of coffee the right way. Or they think they're masterminds making office coffee the right way. Of course, I thought that I can add to the confusion. This will blow your mind. We just got one of these in our employee lounge, a liquid coffee dispenser. Throw out the old-style leaky and messy coffee that VD was bitching about and get one of these. It is the Bun LCA2 liquid coffee dispenser. Fresh, hot coffee, any time of day. No making coffee. Grab a cup, pull the spout, mixes hot coffee right in front of you. No waiting. Has an bag-and-box capacity. Nobody messes with it. No leaks. No mess. It is a coffee vending machine, but this one is actually good. You got to get one. I think I just found one for home, and they are available. If you want to get on Amazon and pick one of these bad boys up. It's kind of what they look like right here. So they look like one of the industrial sprinklers that you might see at a hotel or whatever the deal is.
Yeah.
But I think we got enough coffee drinkers in here where that thing would work. We used to have a coffee machine, but the coffee sucked.
Yeah.
We did, but no one had crap in their mouth.
Correct. And then with the pandemic and stuff, there's just not as many people. People work from home, so I think they just got rid of it.
Yeah, they did.
And there's only a few of us that drink it.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
All right, coming up at 5:08, we will drink and toast with a shot of the day.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Fly Condor Airlines nonstop to Frankfurt and connect effortlessly to most European destinations. Relax and start your vacation in comfort. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today and book your next adventure.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, a quick check on Mike Hogg and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Well, thank you, Miles. A new study is warning that psychopaths are more attractive.
Yeah.
All right, sure.
Have you? Yeah. Like, wasn't that Ted Bundy's whole thing?
Pretty much.
I don't know if he counts as a psychopath. I mean, he's a murderer, but
I think that counts.
Okay. That's a fair call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like, you don't like it. What's that movie? American Psycho.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
That's a good-looking man. I watched that the other day. That movie is dark, but I love it.
I just can't get into it, dude. I have watched it 3 different times at 3 different points in my life, and
Really?
I still just can't do it.
Yeah, it's not a pick-me-up.
No, it is not. No, it is not. The Huey Lewis scene's great, though.
Oh, so with Genesis. Yeah.
Say what now?
Genesis.
All right.
Yeah.
There's a couple musical scenes.
Yeah, there is. Newark air traffic is suffering a staffing crisis, reporting one agent handling upwards of 180 flights all by themselves.
And keep in mind, their computers keep going down.
Yeah. Don't fly into Newark.
No, absolutely do not,
I'm
man.
just going to put that on there right now. If you can avoid it, do.
Yeah.
The computer keeps shutting down, and then they don't want to tell anyone that it's shutting down. And then you have, like you said, one dude is responsible for, on average, 180 flights.
Right.
In one of the busiest airspaces in the world.
That is ridiculous.
If your stuff's already not working, like, I get that things go wrong, and I get that you don't want to take the PR hit to where people no longer fly into your airport. But when you start trying to hide that from me, now I for sure don't ever want to go back to your airport.
Yeah, it's a federal thing. I mean, it's not Newark Airport. That's the one who's getting hit with it, but it's like, this is a federal thing. It's like the FAA, right? I mean,
exactly. Apparently, if you sit too much, your brain could be shrinking, even if you regularly exercise.
So if you're super smart, sit down more and stop annoying people.
Yeah.
Get dumb.
So even if you're exercising?
Yeah.
I mean, some people can't help it. They sit at a desk at an office.
Exactly.
And they're stupid.
I don't know why I'm annoyed.
They need to switch to that exercise ball instead of a chair.
There you go.
Works the abs. Like, it really kind of gets that
the
thing.
standing desk?
Yeah, damn right. That's how you
so
really
with an
change your
exercise
life.
ball, like, you're still getting dumber, but you have a great core.
Correct. That's all it is.
Well,
You become Ryan Lochte.
I was supposed to say, there's a lot of dumb people with great cores.
He's about the dumbest.
My core is more like a Ben and Jerry's core.
Nice.
Some caramel in there.
German researchers have conducted a study and concluded that people exposed to 5G radiation, even at 10 times the legal exposure limit, suffered no harmful changes to their skin cells.
All right, good.
Yeah.
I remember when everybody freaked out about that, when we got the 5G towers and how it was going to mutate everybody.
Yeah, they say that about everything.
Like, what?
The microwave was going to mutate you. Your television was going to mutate you. Regular landline phones are going to mutate
Movie
you.
theater
Cell
popcorn.
phone, everything.
I mean, I do think there is something, like, I try to keep my cell phone out of my pocket as much as I can. And, like, when I'm at home, I always talk on speaker.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I hate having that thing up next to my ear.
You still avoid the x-ray machine when you're going through the airport?
Nah, it just takes too long. I used to do, they would get so mad.
Can I do the
Yeah, the opt out. Then I just remember one point, this guy was just giving me the business, and I was like, what? It's an option.
Right.
Right. Nothing you want to do it, but it's an option.
Right, and that's what scared me, was there was a doctor behind me, and he goes, I would never do that.
Right.
Jesus.
All right. Good news. Researchers found no banned performance enhancers in U.S. meats that could trigger a positive doping test in athletes.
Well, then why am I eating meat?
Right.
Damn it, I want to get buff.
I think exactly.
I mean, good news. I think that's bad news for the athletes. Well, that excuse is gone.
Yeah. Oh, no, man. It was just in some steak that had steroids in it.
Wasn't there somebody that got banned? Like, I was eating Mexican bologna.
Is that what it was?
Something. It was like Mexican meat and it has higher whatever.
Huh.
I'm with Miles, though. I still want to try the Mexican bologna.
Right. Steve, did you have any when we were on
I
break?
did not, man.
Come on, man.
I totally spaced on something. I just want to eat it to see what the deal is, right?
Also, full disclosure, like a few weeks ago, I bought some bologna.
Okay.
And I said, I watch these guys.
Black market bologna.
I'm going to fry it up and put it on a sandwich.
All right.
Man, I threw it out.
It just wasn't good.
No.
It's still bologna. I don't know. I just got it in my head that I was like, this is going to be good.
Are you supposed to cook it like a grilled cheese, or do you just cook the meat and then put it on the sandwich?
I saw a guy online. He was always grilling it or whatever. He said, you could do it at home and just, put a little slice in it and fry it up. And I was like, all right, maybe it'll be like Taylor ham. And then I was like, yeah, it just tastes like bologna. Damn. I mean, there's a reason I probably haven't had bologna since I was in, middle school.
But sometimes you got to remind yourself, like, that's right. I don't need bologna.
It's just a giant hot dog.
I mean, I did that with the Twinkie. Yeah. I loved Twinkies as a kid. And as an adult, there was a Twinkie at the cash register. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to grab one of these. And I had this full expectation of reliving this childhood glory, and it was absolute garbage.
One of the biggest letdowns, man. Because same thing when I was a kid. I loved Twinkies. They were my favorite treat. And then I had one not terribly long ago. Like, damn it didn't hold up.
Awful.
Yeah, it didn't hold up. Oh, it changed something. I think I grew up.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some of those things. So some things, I'm going to say to admit it, as you get older, it's almost like, this is too sweet.
Yeah, that's it, right?
Yes.
Like when I made peanut butter and jelly as a kid, much more jelly than peanut butter. Now, much more peanut butter than jelly.
Sticking with food, in the latest hard-hitting development, scientists in Mexico have created a tortilla for people that don't have a fridge.
Okay.
Well, they're on the shelf when you buy them.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought the same thing.
I never put my tortillas in the fridge.
I don't. You sell them unrefrigerated. And it doesn't matter when you open it. Like nothing has
corn,
changed.
flour, both.
I think mission beat you to it, guys.
Yeah. Just say that. I don't know. That seems odd. Like your tortillas are in the fridge?
We're solving problems.
¿Por qué?
New research on flamingos has just been published that discovered an interesting method of trapping prey by creating tiny tornadoes in the water with their beaks.
Damn.
Yeah. I didn't know that.
Until they get them shrimp.
Damn right. And that's what made me think.
Is it shrimp?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was like krill.
There's also algae. There's, they eat little insects and whatnot, but yeah, it's a lot of
The
those
flamingos?
things. Yeah.
I still kind of want to eat. I want to eat a flamingo.
That's how they get their color.
They are the
they
pros,
said they
man.
turn pink because of their diet. We're like, yeah.
We should all take notes. Teach me your ways.
Oh, shrimp? Nah, man, I got a selfish allergy.
I'm still pink, though.
You know what I'm saying?
Brine shrimp.
Yes.
All right.
That's what we call it. But that made me wonder, what else don't I know about these flamingos?
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
You're late.
10 fabulous facts about flamingos. Who cares about a bird that looks like a vulture got dressed up to go to the prom? How about a few birds that are actually beneficial for your backyard? Let's start with the nuthatch. They feed primarily on insects in the summer, protecting your vegetable garden from unwelcome guests. Then there's the swallow. Name says it all. They eat bugs. Barn swallows can eat up to 60 insects an hour. Guess you could call them deep throat. And finally, titmice. They gobble up the pesky bugs invading your yard and look damned adorable doing it. I'll say.
Thank you, VD.
We call those minis.
Because you can control the birds that come in your yard. I'm the bird whisperer.
Yeah. So these are some fun facts about flamingos. Did you guys know that there's only...
Say that fast.
Fun facts about flamingos.
Flamingo fun fact.
How many species of flamingo do you guys think that there are?
Jesus,
In my
I'm
mind, one, but I'm going to say 7. 2.
6.
Oh, it's close.
Although it might be difficult to tell them apart, there are 6 different species of flamingos. Racists.
So what makes them different?
6 species are greater flamingo, lesser flamingo.
Lesser. Damn, dude.
Come on. Chilean flamingo, Andean flamingo, James's flamingo.
All right, James, what were you into?
I can't believe my buddy James never told me he had a flamingo.
Caught him with my wife.
James's flamingo can also be called the Puna flamingo. And then you have either the American or Caribbean flamingo.
What about?
Come on.
I like that. The greater flamingo consumes small fish.
There you go.
What is the lesser flamingo?
Shrimp.
Whatever's left, right? Flamingos are known for spending most of their time on one leg. Does anybody know why?
I have no idea why.
It's common for some birds to stand on one leg, but for flamingos, it is a must. They lose heat through their feet and legs due to living in the wetlands. So as a way to keep warm, they only stand on one leg. So they only got one that's chilling out in the water over there, and then they'll switch.
That's what evolution gave you. Instead of sweat glands, just balance on one foot. I got one shoe.
It's maybe get out of the damn water.
Right, there's that.
A flamingo's neck is comprised of a lot of bones. How many bones do you think are in a flamingo's neck?
11. 64.
64, 11.
50.
Mouse. 19. Ted, you were the closest without going over. This is the main reason for their ability to move their necks so much. Having 19 bones creates a lot of flexibility, which is needed for survival. Having flexibility means that they can reach down to the water and food sources, get on down now, and reach far back to their feathers for cleaning.
Can you imagine you walk in, he's on one leg, neck cranks on like, damn,
Hey,
bro.
girl.
How many bones do you think a giraffe has in its neck? This is what's mind blowing. She said they had 11.
These guys have 19. I'm going to say that giraffes have 26.
7.
They have 7
They have the
bones.
same number as a human being.
How big are those damn vertebrae,
They
dude?
must be massive.
Jeez. Back to flamingo facts. Different species of flamingo have different beaks. The lesser, James's, and Andean flamingos. James's flamingo. They have a beak referred to as a deep-keeled bill.
It's like that.
Due to their shape, these flamingos mostly only eat algae. Greater Chilean and American flamingos have what we call shallow-keeled bills. This means that their diet is slightly different from the others, as they can slurp up insects, invertebrates, and, like Ted said, small fish.
All right.
The bend halfway down the flamingo's leg, that is not their knee. That's their ankle.
Damn. Halfway down?
Yes. When you look at a flamingo, you may think that the notch that it's in its leg there is like an elbow or a knee, but no, it is in fact an ankle. So this means that from the ankle down are the flamingo's feet, which also means that half of the flamingo's legs are actually toes.
Isn't that a cankle?
When a flamingo...
Big ass.
Well, they're not cankles because they're so skinny and weird looking.
Yeah, that's true.
When a flamingo is on its feet, it's essentially standing on the tip of its toes. There's a joint toward the bottom of the foot, which we might think looks like an ankle, but it's essentially more like a knuckle. It's easier to see in chicks as they are still developing.
Look at that. Hey, girl.
Look at my chick knuckles.
So they actually have legs that are designed a lot like ours. It's just where that ankle bend is all the way down there.
Okay. I'm almost starting to feel bad for flamingos, man.
When flamingos fly, they don't tuck their legs. So they just look like this goober.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Hang on, dude. My legs are behind me.
Take a look, ladies.
Most birds have small legs compared to their body size, so we really don't notice when their legs, where their legs go when they fly, and it's common for birds to tuck their legs close to their bodies when they fly, thereby becoming more streamlined. However, flamingos do the complete opposite. They lengthen their legs and keep them out straight when in flight, giving the bird better balance and making them more aerodynamic, and they look goofy.
They look very stupid.
Fun facts about flamingos. Flamingos mostly lay one large egg once a year.
Really?
Yes. A flamingo will reach its sexual maturity anywhere between 3 to 6 years old. Once a flamingo becomes fertile, it'll only mate and nest once a year. Flamingos use mud, stones, and feathers to build their nests for laying. When flamingos mate, they will only fertilize and lay one egg. Eggs usually weigh between a quarter of a pound to a third of a pound, and it'll take around 27 to 31 days for the offspring to hatch.
So they have sex once a year. That's it.
So it's kind of like a penguin. Because same thing. They only...
Right, mate for life.
Yeah. Well, no, they just find one guy. They're just like, hey, let's just pop one out. I don't want to take care of 6 or 4, man. I just want one. Having an irrational phobia of flamingos accounts for 1 in every 300 people.
1 out of 300?
Yes.
That seems awfully high.
It really does.
It's a flamingo.
Let's see. Also known as phenocopterus phobia. The fear of flamingos occurs every 1 out of 300 people. The main features that people find terrifying are their eyes, as they're red or yellow and have a tiny bead-like black pupil in the center, and you can actually really see them. They're one of the bigger birds that you can actually see their eyes.
I could never work as a therapist.
Get over it.
No, I mean, if you told me, hey, man, listen, I know it sounds irrational. I have a fear of flamingos. There is no way I would not burst out laughing.
Another feature that people find
Is there a
uncanny.
flamingo in here in the room right now?
Another feature that people find uncanny is their super skinny mechanical-like legs.
Yeah.
Most cartoon flamingos are cute, fluffy, and fun-looking, but real-life flamingos have more demonic look with piercing eyes and
Out there looking like
mechanical-like
Chet Holmgren with those skinny legs. He's got really skinny legs, man.
The oldest flamingo on record. We know how long parrots live. How long do you think the oldest recorded flamingo was.
So you said 3 to 6 years before they hit sexual maturity. So it's 25 years.
25. Ted.
I'll say 40.
40. Mouse.
30.
83 years old.
Jesus.
In 2014, Adelaide Zoo in Australia put to sleep their eldest flamingo, and even then, it was still going strong. It was doing
why
its
did
own
they put
thing.
it down?
Due to complications with his old age and arthritis. My ankles
Wow.
don't work anymore.
I mean, look, I don't know. It's really, we do it with animals. You better doing that with a person.
Right.
And your father's like, man, I got bad arthritis. We're putting him down.
Put him down. That thing arrived at the zoo in 1933, and they put him down in 2014.
Wow. You think they got sick of it at some point?
This doggone bird saw a world war. It saw so much crap go on, dude. Holy cow. And then I will leave you with this final fun fact about flamingos. It is a national bird. Do we know where it is the national bird of?
Florida.
Not a bad call. It should be, but no, national bird, Miles.
Cuba.
Cuba, you're in the right
Brazil.
area. Brazil, Mr. Hill.
No. Jamaica.
The Bahamas.
Damn it.
Bahamian flamingo.
Jamaica.
There you go.
Brandy women, I need my pink.
Explains why they're always wearing shorts. Num, 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 num. An Amazon driver in L.A. is out of a job for making multiple deliveries at one home, Miles.
What kind of deliveries were they making there?
All about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink task and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast 34-year-old Jesaniah Ezel of Gulfport, Mississippi. Now, this past Sunday, 9:30 at night, she entered the Dollar General store with a gun and demanded money. Again, she robbed a Dollar General. But she got into a fight with a very unimpressed employee, but she did manage to escape with what they're saying is an undisclosed amount of cash. I'm sure it was dozens upon dozens of dollars. Anyway, later that night, officers, they were on the scene investigating the incident when her honoree returned to ask the cops if they'd found her cell phone that she dropped during the fight she'd been in when she was robbing the place earlier. To no one's surprise, she was arrested for armed robbery.
Jesus.
She came back. Cops are there. And she's like, hey, yeah, listen, I was here earlier in the fight when I was stealing cash at gunpoint. Did you find my phone? They're like, we didn't, but we're going to go ahead and arrest you. And again, Mike, no extra charge for being stupid.
None at all.
I really
Can I
feel
use
like
your
that should
phone to try to call mine?
Hey, yeah, here's my number. There it is, yeah. Jesus.
That's unbelievable.
It is. I know people do stupid stuff on social media and post like, I just stole this money, but to physically go back, see the cops there, and then ask the cops if they found your phone because you dropped it in a fight while you were trying to rob the store that they're investigating. It's like, my God. Like, taser.
Did they have it?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies.
Down the hola bichola. Let's get a contestant on the line for Profile This. 206-803-ROCK. Profile This is next.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With nonstop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
What's on your list when considering a luxury SUV? Inspired design and comfort, impressive performance. If so, the 2025 Lincoln Aviator SUV checks every box, and then some. The Aviator offers an available 28-speaker sound system, perfect position front seats, best-in-class horsepower and torque, and much more. That makes the list of SUVs you're considering become much shorter. Discover it for yourself by visiting your local Lincoln retailer. Lincoln, the power of sanctuary. Class is large crossover premium utility starting at MSRP under $150,000.
Ready for non-stop fun and huge rewards? Head over to the beautiful Grand Casino Shoreline. Experience thrilling Vegas-style table games. You could win up to $1,000 in free play every hour, every day from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Enjoy half off daily happy hours from 3 to 7 p.m. and 10 to midnight. Prime Rib Fridays for just $24.99, plus live music Friday and Saturday night. Grand Casino, a smoke-free environment. Just off Aurora, open daily from 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. Details at GrandCasinoGaming.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Thrillhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
Oh, I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Luke. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, gentlemen. What's going on?
Hola. All right, Luke, you understand how this here game is played?
Okay. Yes, I have heard Profile This before, and I'm ready to go.
Excellent. Yes would have sufficed. So today you have one of three categories to choose from. We have the wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally today, Hit Me with Your Best Shot, where you guess the unconventional object that someone chose to use as a weapon.
Let's go with Hit Me with Your Best Shot this time.
All right. Here is your story. Oh, wait. I grabbed the wrong one. Here we go. Here is your story. A Nebraska man is behind bars on a pair of felony charges for striking a female neighbor and the female neighbor's 7-year-old daughter with an object. Aiden White, 25 years old, he first struck the girl while she was playing with other children in the front yard of her home. When the child's mother, one Sandra Lundsman, confronted him, he yelled at her, quote, I'm not in the mood. Get back in your effing house. He then charged her, wielding his weapon of choice. Now, he struck her on the right arm/shoulder, and both she and her daughter said they were in pain following the strikes. Two neighbors told cops they witnessed White hitting the victims with the object, which investigators described as high quality, approximately 3.5 feet long. Now, during police questioning, White confessed to the attack, saying it was unacceptable behavior for which he wanted to apologize. Now, while he was cordial with the cops, he was still a profane and angry outburst that included him blaming the victims for a rise in his rent. And he also warned of future problems for the mother and her daughter. Anyway, he was charged with 2 felony assault counts. He's being held in lieu of $50,000 bond. The question is...
mackerel. That's a lot of money.
Well, that's kind of the point. So the question is, what did he attack his neighbors with? A lightsaber, a Harry Potter broomstick, a rubber dinosaur, or a Nerf rifle. So lightsaber, Harry Potter broomstick, rubber dinosaur, or a Nerf rifle.
Gosh, that's a good one. Yeah. Well, I do know that some rubber can end up having a pretty sharp edge.
Yes, it can.
But I don't think, and you said that the mother got hit on the...
She got hit in the arm.
Shoulder, you said?
She got hit in the shoulder/arm. Her daughter was also hit. I do not know where in the daughter's body she was struck.
I'm going to go Nerf rifle, Ted.
Nerf rifle.
I have gotten a cut with a Nerf rifle by mistake, but that
was not a mistake.
Probably when I was 13.
It was more like 14. 14.
I think because you said it was of good quality.
Higher quality, yes.
I'm going to go with the lightsaber.
Lightsaber.
Okay, Luke, what are you thinking? Final answer.
Oh, man. Well, considering lightsabers from Hacksmith Industries might be crazy, stupid, expensive, I'm probably going to go with the Nerf gun because I know that they can have, some of them have pretty...
Nerf gun it is.
Okay, gotcha, man. What did they get attacked with? A lightsaber, Harry Potter broom, a rubber dinosaur, or a Nerf rifle? We'll find out next.
Will we?
That was
Good God, you're listening to the Men's Room. Gregory City with your best shout-out profile this week in Nebraska. Nebraska man is in jail still. He attacked a child and her mother. And he did it with something that was like 3 feet long, but apparently very intricate and very well detailed. So what did he hit both the mom and the child with? A replica lightsaber, a Harry Potter broom, or broomstick, yeah, a rubber dinosaur, or a Nerf rifle?
Yeah, that is a question that we posed to Luke. And Luke, Miles, as you know, great minds think alike. You and Luke agree that it was, in fact, the Nerf gun. Hey, I didn't come up with a sign. It is not a Nerf gun. B. Ted Smith, Star Wars fan you are, you said a lightsaber.
Yep.
And you are correct.
Because one of the cops was a nerd and had to say it was in good quality.
To me, that was the giveaway. What was his quote? It was, yes. The cop, he described it as higher quality.
Yeah.
That's like, dude, you're a Star Wars fan.
Exactly. What if it was blue or red?
I don't know. I mean, anyone else would just say it was a toy lightsaber. Right. That is what you would say. If the cop says
this is a good one.
Higher quality, like,
this is
how many
level.
lightsabers do you have, officer?
They are the things that can range in quality.
No, they are.
They
but
are.
The fact that he pointed it out.
Right. You know you just know he's a Star Wars fan as he sat there with like and went,
that's actually pretty good quality.
It's a really good one, dude.
That's right.
Which I get. Like
he stopped for 1 second and go, wow, damn, hey, man, this is nice. You know, his partner's like, I don't care.
The light actually walks up the saber.
Now, for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What if comparing car insurance rates was as easy as putting on your favorite podcast? With Progressive, it is. Just visit the Progressive website to quote with all the coverages you want. You'll see Progressive's direct rate, then their tool will provide options from other companies so you can compare. All you need to do is choose the rate and coverage you like. Quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth. For a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection, because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. You got the Jimmys.
Fallon and Kimmel.
Seth Meyers. Colbert.
Steven.
Thomason.
Taylor.
Ted.
The.
Is it
Man.
Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title is, guys, that seems to tell us the writers something come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Some sports news. Wrestling Olympic gold medalist Kyle Schneider was arrested in Ohio in a prostitution ring. Yeah. I guess he was tired of being singlet.
Ted Smith.
Colbert.
That's me.
That's a good one.
Thanks. I came down here to Mike Rowe. I go, is that too sportsy?
No, I like it.
Yeah. You ever worn a singlet?
I have not.
Oh, it is so comfortable.
Really?
Yeah.
They don't look comfortable.
Oh, super comfortable.
Yeah, I'll start wearing them.
We should wear that for an event.
Ooh, yeah.
Over the weekend, chaos at Newark Airport continued as air traffic controllers lost contact with planes again. It's never good when you get ghosted by your air traffic controller.
Honestly, Fallon.
Yeah, Fallon.
Yeah, it's Fallon.
Over the weekend, the chaos at Newark Airport continued as air traffic controllers lost contact with planes again. Yeah, it's never good when you get ghosted by your air traffic controller.
NBC just announced that Michael Jordan will contribute to the NBA coverage next season. Between this and the Pope, Chicago's having the best week ever.
Fallon.
Yeah, Fallon.
That is Fallon.
A woman in Michigan was recently reunited.
Well. I went a different order.
NBC just announced that Michael Jordan will contribute to the NBA coverage next season. Wow. Yeah, between this and the Pope, Chicago's like, OMG, best week ever.
By the way, Ted, my wife just texted me to let me know you did wear a singlet at one of the events. She's right, I remember. The yellow one. The outline of my penis was obvious.
Oh,
you remember that one?
Was it comfortable?
You know what, man? When she brought it up, I'm like, it was
It
comfortable.
is comfortable. Ask anybody that wrestled in high school or as a kid. I mean, it's super comfortable.
You don't look cool, but very comfortable.
A woman in Michigan reunited with her cat after it was missing for 3 years. Wow. Just when she had finally finished vacuuming. And he gets it.
Seth Meyers.
Yeah.
A woman in Michigan was recently reunited with her cat after it was missing for 3 years. Wow, just when the woman had finally finished vacuuming.
All right. Sometimes I like to sit here and talk about new shows I'm watching. I'm not going to bore you with what I watched last night because there's yet another series on the Civil War.
Okay. Of course.
All right.
Yeah, pretty good one. I just find myself getting fired up for the North.
I think you know they're going to win.
You do. There's, you know what, though?
Spoiler alert, man.
Spoiler alert.
I haven't watched the show.
They won. It was just some of the interesting things, too. It's like I grew up in that area. I love it. I kind of forget. You forget some of the stuff that, like, you know, everybody knows the Battle of Antietam, right? It's like the bloodiest one-day battle of the war. It's still the bloodiest day ever, I think, for American soldiers, right? But it's funny. 2 days after that, Lincoln had already been sitting on the Emancipation Proclamation. But after that, because we had actually turned him back, because at that point, the South had just been whooping the North's butt, then 2 days later, he puts that out because he felt confident. Like, basically, they realized at this point, like, this isn't about just the Union anymore. Like, we got serious issues. And to Lincoln's credit, he's like, look, if we're going to have a union in a country free for all men got to be free.
Yeah, kind of right there in the words.
Yeah, and then you look at some of the battles that go past that. Obviously, if you ever seen the movie Glory with like Matthew Broderick and Denzel Washington, you would know about the 54th Massachusetts. But there was other divisions of these black men who had got out of slavery, either run away or whatever, and they put them into the army. And it's crazy to me. The Northern Army still has a bunch of racists, right? So
of
at first
course.
they're like, we don't want them up front. They can't fight as good as white troops. So I'm like, well, all right, but. There's a couple things that happened in the South where back in that day, technology with these weapons had advanced.
Yeah.
But the techniques in fighting had
not. Yeah.
So they got to go and take these charges up these hills. These dudes, they know the price. Like they basically, you got to, it's a lot more than just four of us. But let's say the four of us are put in charge of it. Only one of us is coming back. We know that. But, also because they were freed slaves, they knew they were fighting for something more than just this battle or whatever.
Sure.
They, so it was just interesting stuff there, and I can get caught up in that all the time. Now, this week, a couple weeks ago, we had the Kentucky Derby. So this weekend, you'll have the Preakness. Spoiler alert, there won't be a Triple Crown winner because that horse has already been scratched from the Preakness.
Yep.
But they said that right after the race. So I wonder,
they did.
Wonder what was going on.
You know what it is? What is the old saying I took from The Wire, right? If you want to know what's going on, what do?
Follow the money.
Follow the money. There you go.
Okay.
I don't want him to get hurt because he won the Derby, so you can go out and have him make a bunch of babies already because he's a Derby winner. So it's like, oh, we don't want him to get
but
hurt.
if he's a Triple Crown winner, then you really kill it. I guess you just cut your losses while you can, even though you got to win.
I mean, it's tough because they're animals, but I think at a certain point you got to be like, look, don't enter the Derby if you don't want to enter the Preakness.
I would agree with that in the sense of, but there's a difference, right? If you win the Derby, then please go to the Preakness because
correct.
Most of us are not horse racing fans. You don't care about it one way or another until the Triple Crown comes around, or you have fun at Emerald Downs, right? But it's not something we're watching every day and checking the paper and all that. Most of us aren't. So once you get the Derby winner, the potential excitement is, ooh, can we get a Triple Crown winner? And then if you win the Preakness, right, it builds up.
Now, a lot of people are also saying the Preakness track sucks.
It does.
Right, which, if you've ever been there.
It does.
Our buddy Marshawn was telling somebody the Kentucky Derby. Because I drove him by there. Just hearing somebody else that's not from Baltimore explain it is kind of wild.
Even when you're from Baltimore, you're like, yeah, I don't know why it's here, but what are you going to do?
Well, even Sovereignty, who won the Kentucky Derby, well, apparently it was a little, he's going to be fined, the jockey is, because he hit the horse too much.
So what's the rule?
You can whip your horse 6 times during the race. He smacked him 8 times.
Bastard.
Right. It's the second time he's violated that rule in 180 days. I mean, it used to be you could whip him as much as you want.
Yeah.
But obviously, with the riding crop, but obviously when you hit that horse, it's going to make him go faster.
Sure.
And, he goes, look, the jockey got fined $62,000, which was 20% of his $300,000 he won. He's suspended for 2 races. But he admitted, he goes, look, I just couldn't keep track. It's such a big race. You got a lot going on in your mind.
I believe that.
I do too.
I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You watch an NBA game, guy will get 4 fouls in a night.
Mm-hmm.
Some are intentional, most aren't.
Yeah, I would just think maybe when you're on top of that horse, so you got to somehow, I mean, that's just a hard, fast rule, which I'm glad they put in. You would think somewhere, even during the race in your mind, you'd be like 1, 2.
I agree, but also, depending on how close the race is and you're trying to urge your horse to run fast. I mean, look, an offensive lineman jumps off sides. Like, brother, you were in the huddle. You heard the snap count. I think there's just, in any athlete, there's a moment where the things you quote unquote should know, it just goes out of your head for whatever reason, in that moment.
Also coming down the stretch.
That's what I mean.
Save
at
him
that
from
point.
there, something,
Yeah, well, it's also tough to, and that's a very good point, right? Like,
the snap count.
I will say, I have told this, because people always get mad, like, sometimes a face mask is blatant, right?
Sure.
But sometimes, like, I've told people before, like, I did it once. It's like it takes your brain a second to be like, I'm holding the dude's face mask.
Right. You're just trying to grab him because your instinct is, I need to stop this guy from running.
Yeah.
And this is what I can grab. Then you're, like you said,
but you still get your whole head pulled down to the ground.
I literally just hit the wrong button for Ted or Late Night.
Right.
Just because I fell asleep at the wheel for a hot
yeah.
second.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just phase out for a while, just disassociate, and then we can't bring it back.
You're on a disassociative at work? You're wild, man. Let's see. This is the time of year where they announce some of the fall schedules. We'll go over this next couple days. But let's start with Fox, all right? Some people
Foxy.
What's that?
The Foxy.
Foxy.
I'd call it the Foxy Network.
Some people got worried because The Masked Singer wasn't on there. Don't worry. It's just not on in the fall. All right? It's on a little bit of a break. But we all know what on a break means.
Fall's the time to wear masks.
Yeah,
Damn
you
it.
know what? You're right.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, when you do it around Halloween, kind of coincides.
Well, think about Mardi Gras. That's a big masquerade.
Yeah.
Twice.
I don't know, man. I get creeped out by some of those masquerade balls. I just feel like there's something
sinister going on.
Oh, good word.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
There is.
Get a little shining feeling
Oh,
going on.
yeah.
I get more of the Count of Monte Carlo.
Cristo.
On the Count of Monte Carlo. One car. 2 race cars.
Oh, dear.
One sandwich. Monte Cristo. That'll be back this fall. It'll be taken over by a game show called The Floor, hosted by Rob Lowe.
Love The Floor.
Do you?
Yes, we're watching it right now. That's the one where they pick a subject, and then they'll pit 2 people against each other. And you and I, Miles, we each have a specialty, okay? I know wrestlers a lot. You know football players a lot, but we're going to go for football players on this one. And so they put up football players on the screen, and then you and I have to guess back and forth who these people are. So, bam, I have to guess Tom Brady. Then, boom, you have to guess Lamar Jackson. Then I have to guess, and then it goes back and forth, and then whoever wins gets a square on the floor.
Oh, okay.
It's a really fun
the
game.
floor fell out from under you.
No, God, no.
That's actually pretty good.
Goodbye.
It's a really fun game, dude. And it's, they've got backlogged episodes on Hulu right now if you want to check it out. Highly recommend it.
All right. I might check on my on demand with the Xfinity there and see if I can watch a couple of those episodes. Let's see. You got playoff games going on tonight. You got some basketball. You got some hockey going on. I will say, I'm not the biggest Boston fan, but it sucks to see the defending champion and Jason Tatum. I will throw some hate Jason Tatum's way, but you never want to see somebody get hurt like that. And I told Mike, if you've never been in New York City, the Knicks get a chance. Just be ready to be annoyed by Knicks fans. All right, you've been warned.
Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. An Amazon delivery driver wants a thumbs up after dropping it right at your door.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, a cat is missing for 3 weeks, survived on beer, and lived under a floor. Somehow, rescuers confuse a seal with a rock. Chicago man late for a flight gets to the airport and does not want to walk. And a man breaks into a police station and is arrested right there in the police station. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
All right, our top story. We go to Los Angeles, where they're down one Amazon driver. A local resident came back home to the sight of their Amazon package nestled safely at the door, along with the sickening sight of something else that was left behind. A grotesque number 2 that had been left on the porch stairs. They checked their Ring camera footage to find it was their Amazon driver, who can be seen pulling up her pants after leaving the gift behind. What's more is they also have footage of the same driver on another occasion urinating behind a wooden fence on the property, with her face in full view of the camera.
Same property?
I believe so. I could be wrong. Amazon contacted the customer or customers and issued an apology informing them that the driver is no longer employed with the company.
Sorry.
Does she just have a beef with those people?
She's got to. Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, it was a nice looking house. It was a beautiful house, and she just dropped one right there on the bottom step.
Now, I saw the picture. It's like you are on camera. Not just that, you delivered an Amazon pack.
And you took a picture
of it. Then there's a pile of poop next to it.
You took a picture of it.
Exactly.
Right. They're probably going to figure it out.
And again, we live in the day and age where there's a camera everywhere. No matter what it is that you do, expect to be on camera.
Yeah.
Don't leave that behind, especially in a house that looked like that. You have to expect that they're going to have cameras in that home. Like, that was a fancy-looking place.
And now she knows.
Jeez. And then she looked directly at the camera.
That's the other thing. It's almost like she
How
knew
you
it was
doing?
What's going on? Leaving this behind. In other news, we go down to Melbourne, Australia, where a man chose his break-in target poorly. Police got a call about a man that had vandalized a car outside of a building right at midnight. It was like 12:10 a.m. before smashing his way into the building itself. An alarm went off inside of the facility, and nearby officers got to the scene quickly. Mainly because it was their own police department that he had broken into, vandalizing a cop car before smashing his way in. He refused to comply with officer commands, which led him to being tasered and pepper sprayed before being arrested. I want to know what was like a 1-2 count before you shot this man with a taser. It's midnight. This is your own police department. I'm not giving you a whole lot of chances.
No, you got tased.
Right.
Straight up, man.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's like breaking into somebody's home.
Absolutely it is. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Zap. That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a whole lot of yelling at me.
I wouldn't even do that. You got tased.
Right. I'm not saying a thing.
Nope.
Gah. The case is pending investigation as he was deemed unfit to be interviewed because he broke into a police station.
They're like, that's so stupid. He must have problems.
Exactly. Let's let this guy cool off for a little while until we figure out what the hell he's got going on. To the UK, where local animal officials got a distressed call. A local wandering the beach heard animal cries for help and looked out to the water to see a seal in distress. Troubled by the sight and wanting to do the right thing, they called local animal authorities, who arrived on the scene in short order. They connected with the Samaritan to find the exact location of the seal, which was pointed out to them, and that's when they discovered that the seal was just a perfectly shaped rock in the water.
Why do they think it was in distress?
Because it wasn't moving, Ted. And they heard cries for help. They heard, like, distress calls from the seal.
But it was a rock.
Right, so they have no idea where that came from.
That's what I'm saying. If you just said, hey, I think that's a dead seal, I could fathom it.
Sure.
But to say it's in distress, like, well, it's not even moving. It's a rock.
Come on, man. And again, it's a rock. That doesn't move at all.
No.
I've seen dead seals on the beach.
It's a picture of a rock.
Right. And when water hits it, like, they're gonna move a little bit, maybe not move a whole lot.
Rocks don't move.
Right. It stands there firm. Anywho, they commend the beach patron for raising the alarm, saying that they tell the public to avoid the animals on the beach, and it looked enough like a seal. No, it didn't. To warrant the call.
Looked more like a rock.
Though they don't know where the cry for help came from. They wonder if it was like a seagull that was going up ahead.
I mean, like, I've seen something where you look at the clouds and go, oh, that looks like so-and-so's face. But it still looks more like a cloud than so-and-so's face.
Right. But you don't call the cops saying, so-and-so's in the sky.
It's a giant face in the sky.
Right. I'd like to think that we would walk along the beach and say, that rock looks kind of like a seal. And then we'd keep walking.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Right. Mind your own damn business. To the Chicago airport, and not the good one. Authorities responded to a report of a car that had managed to smash its way into a wall at Midway that separated the road from the airport itself. They say that nobody was injured in the incident and operations were not stopped, though they don't know much else about this whole situation.
Big cities, though, they always got a turd airport.
They do.
You know.
When do we get...
Well, I'm not saying that Reagan is a turd airport, but they do.
It is.
Yes. Big cities have a nice airport and a piece of crap airport.
Well, I think, isn't like Southwest the only one that still flies in there?
To what, Reagan?
In Midway?
No,
Midway. I think so.
No, I've flown into Midway from Seattle, not on a Southwest flight.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
What, Midway? Yeah.
Well, Midway is just, it's so old, it's in that neighborhood, so you're just kind of cruising and then you drop.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? It's not a subtle kind of cruise in.
You can see people waving at you as you're coming down.
What about when you're flying to John Wayne's like, yeah, like the plane's doing a nosedive.
Yeah, that one was just startling.
Yeah. See, and I didn't realize the difference between O'Hare and Midway. It's like, all right, I'm flying into Chicago. Then I fly into Midway, like, oh, this one's garbage.
Mike, we flew in there when I was the manager of the basketball team, number one team in the country.
Attaboy.
We get off the flight, and all the baggage handlers, all the gate agents, King will F you up. Oh, it got us fired up. It was pretty fun. Like, those people were like...
Did they win?
No, we beat King. But those people were pissed, and they knew who we were. Basketball in Chicago is a big deal.
Damn, dude. But just in case those stories left a bad taste in your mouth...
Thankfully, there's good news.
Over to the UK, where a pet owner might be thinking twice about letting his cat roam free outdoors. He was left distraught when his beloved cat did not come home one day and spent a good chunk of time trying to track her down with no luck. He got so desperate that he shelled out over £1,000 for a pet detective to attempt to track her down, but then he finally got some encouraging words.
Pet detective.
Right.
Like Ace frickin' Ventura.
Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
Oh, my God.
For the love of Pete.
Real friendly around here. They got some encouraging words. 3 weeks. For the longest time, I did not know what was happening because I saw the movie when I was a kid. Then I grew up, was like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Some encouraging words 3 weeks later from his nearby neighbors. They were renovating their home and heard some distressed noises coming from underneath the floorboards.
It was a rock.
They tore up the boards to find the precocious feline, albeit malnourished, but alive and well.
It would seem that she snuck into the floor and hunkered down as they sealed her in while renovations were taking place.
How did she survive on beer?
That's the whole thing. They're not positive how she survived for 3 weeks under the floor, but noticed a half-empty beer can down there with her, and they're wondering if she didn't help herself to it.
I bet I'd be getting drunk, too.
They're also saying that she very well could have had some of the rodents that are there underneath the house.
Oh, yeah.
The condensation from some of the piping that was down there.
Or beer.
I'm with Miles. I'm with you guys. She was definitely chugging beer while she was down there.
Yeah.
The half-empty one's the only one that you found. She was just crushing cans down there. Men's Room Sports, the Mariners did not look so hot in their first game against the Yankees here at home last night. Starting off with a decent 3-0 lead, they soon found themselves on the losing end of an 11-5 score. But what's making headlines from the game is Yankees third baseman Oswaldo Cabrera, who made the final run for the Yankees last night, which came at a cost. While trying to beat the tag and sliding into home, Cabrera's left ankle came down awkwardly, causing him to roll over the top of it, and it went the wrong direction.
He did not need to slide.
And it appeared that he broke during the slide. He was carted off the field and was going to miss some time.
Random Monday gruesome foot injury television last night.
No kidding.
Yeah, that was not good. Baseball,
good.
and I'm just like, every time you flip the channel, you're like, Jesus.
Well, and apparently he's there laying on the ground while his teammates are around him. He's like, did I score?
Well, the trainer put a towel over his leg because it was so gross.
Right.
On the field. Like, you don't look at this.
But I think the trainer did it for him. Like, I don't care about the audience.
Yeah.
I'm saying I can't look at this.
You got Tatum crying in the hallway. I mean, just watching sports like, what is going
the hell's
on
happening?
tonight?
It's like, bro, we're in the lead 10-5. You didn't need to slide for the 11th and bust yourself. Damn. Come on. As far as what's going to watch tonight, you got NBA playoffs on TNT and True TV, one playoff hockey game over on ESPN, and the Mariners have Game 2 against the Yankees here at home tonight en route at 6:40. Sands one third baseman. Let's go, boys. As far as our weather, clouds are coming in to bring things down to 50 tonight. Tomorrow we're looking at more cloudy skies and a high right around 60 degrees. That's it for your headlines. With that, Mike Hawkins out.
Thanks, sir. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the return of Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed, it is all true, but in the meantime, well, we be all about this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hate doing cardio? Try brushing and flossing your teeth. I'm not talking about building up a sweat. I'm talking about building a healthier mouth for a healthier heart, for a healthier you. Smile Generation. Trusted dentists look at your care through the lens of the mouth-body connection because what happens in the mouth plays a critical role for the rest of your body. To find a dentist near you, committed to treating all of you, visit smilegeneration.com/confidence today and live longer, healthier, and happier with confidence unleashed.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several European cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation and make it even more memorable by offering comfortable and spacious cabins where you can sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
With over 25 years of expertise, DAF Giving 360's donor-advised funds can help you get a tax deduction and potentially grow your charitable dollars tax-free while you recommend when and where to give. Learn more at dafgiving360.org.
Do you think astronauts fight over elbow room? Probably. Because advanced tech doesn't always mean more space. Until now. Introducing the Hyundai Ioniq 9, a 3-row electric SUV with over 300 miles of range, ultra-fast charging capability, and lots of space. The all-new Hyundai Ioniq 9. Space in an EV. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
Ioniq 9 is available in extremely limited quantities at select dealers in select states only. EPA estimated range based on fully charged battery. For comparison purposes only. Actual range will vary based on several factors.